Pounders, we are back. And man, it's got to be the most exciting part of football that we're getting since the Super Bowl. So
It's
we got
draft
Johnny with us
day,
right
Pounders.
now. I know Tyler's trying to get on, but he's got some funky stuff going on with his computer. So we'll see if he hops in later. Let's see who we got in the chat. ER7, welcome. Fancy Dysfunctional. NF42, Ben Hart. What's up, my man? What's up? This is going to be, I think it's going to be fireworks in the trade region.
I do too. I'm expecting a lot of trades in the first round, especially at the top of the draft. There could be some movement. There's been some rumors flying around today, so we'll see what happens. But it's going to be interesting. The draft always is. So I'm going to start with a pour. We're going Irish today. Celtics are playing right now, so I got to give them a little bit of luck.
Your cousin from Boston. There it is. We got to get some Sam Adams up.
Right, you got to let that cascade. Allow the cascade.
That's a good pour. That's a professional pour right there.
What can I say? So we take our alcoholism serious in Boston.
We got asked early by ER7. Alec Pierce will get an upgrade no matter what. Best case. So he said, who do you think best case and worst case? And in my opinion, since we're getting the news that Stroud is a potential faller, I wouldn't mind him in Indy, especially with Jonathan Taylor, running the ball there. I think that's going to open up the receivers. And he was, I think, the most accurate QB coming out of college. So Stroud, yes, please go to Indy. My Alec Pierce shares to the moon.
Yeah, fantastic. I think he's going to be the best quarterback in this class. We'll see what happens, but I like me some CJ Stroud.
Are you buying the Will Levis hype?
I mean, I do think he's going to be a good quarterback. Do I think he's going to be as good as maybe a CJ Stroud? Personally, I do not.
Right. Now, all I can see from the last, 4 days on Twitter when this wave has taken over, the Levis wave of him just throwing balls, not moving, not moving, like on his knees, down on one knee, behind the back, just stationary.
Shorts and a t-shirt. Let's not get so excited here, fellas. You know what I mean?
He has an arm
in full effect.
Love this. So, man, if he goes at 2, I'll be surprised. I really will.
Levis?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're talking Houston Texans at 2, correct?
Yeah.
So there's been a lot of talk of them not going quarterback, but I think that's just your classic misinformation. I mean, do they really feel all warm and cozy about the quarterback room right now? Or maybe they just think that these quarterbacks, they're not in love with any one of these quarterbacks. That's always possible, but I'd be surprised if they don't pull the trigger. Quarterback's just such a sexy thing, and when you've been grudging it out and grinding it out as long as they have in Houston, sometimes you go for that flashy new vehicle.
Yeah, it's tough to, right? It's tough to go anything but QB. Like, obviously, you want to improve your team and you're looking for the future, but you would still need to tank next year if you don't go QB. So how do you tank, but you still sort of want Bijan at 12 if you're not going QB early? So that is sort of, that kind of muddies the water a little bit because you have Bijan on your team. Like, you're going to start winning games. And F42, what's up, my man? Says, what's our thoughts on the BBM prize structure? I got it right here. Let's pull her up. So if you guys don't know, this is the $25 tournament on Underdog Fantasy. Last year had 452,200 teams at 25 ahead, 11.3% rake, something like that. And last year was top heavy, and this year it's top heavier. It seems heavier, right? So the breakdown last year was 10 million and 1 million to the regular season prize, and now this year it's 10 million and 15 million or 5 million. So about a third is going towards the regular season prizes, which I've already kind of dove into it a little bit and think they could have made it a little better if they thought about it. But it's kind of disheartening if you come in fifth at 100K, it's good. 6th, but like 9th, 10th, these are prize pools that you can hit in a not Best Ball Mania, a Battle Royale tournament in the regular season. And it's much easier to hit a Battle Royale tournament for this 30K than coming 10th in the BBM. I did some numbers the other day, a little number crunching. If you move ahead at 25% rate, your 150 lineups, and then you have like well correlated teams, et cetera, you're looking at an 11% chance to make it to the finals total. There is a lot of things that have to go right. Now, if you only pass forward, 17%, like that's on par with the advance rates, but that's not taking rake into consideration as well, which isn't as big a deal in these versus cash games where that really kind of eats into the ROI. You're going to go down. It's going to be like around like 7 or 8%. So I think that this is fine, but it could have been better. And this is how. So right here, we're paying out the top prize pool from weeks 1 to 14, $5 million, but we're paying out the top 10,000 lineups, 250. Now, I know there's a lot of people that won't really be necessarily happy with coming in 9,500th, especially if you're maxing these. What's 250 do when you just put in 3,750 into the tournament? So I don't really like this 250, but sure, pay out 5,000 people, right? Not 10,000. If you only pay out 5,000 here, that gives you 1.25 million to then distribute to here. Like third to second is 700K.
Yeah.
There's a huge
drop off. Huge
So
drop
like
off. I don't mind the
3
3 million to 1 million for the first and second.
That's
but
fine.
That drop from second to third is pretty tough.
Dude, we're talking about to get your money back, right? You have to place basically 100th, right? 3,750. Now there's other ways to get there with this, but what do you think's easier? Because in my opinion, I think it's actually easier to win Best Ball Mania than it is to come in first against. This is going to be a 600,000 person tournament, and this is everyone. You're not just playing the people in your pod.
No, I have to agree with you. That does seem lopsided when you put it that way.
So put me against 15 other people to advance into round 3 into round 3. And then put me against another 15 other people to put me into round 4 where the big money is.
Yeah.
But if you just barely place, like you're getting 1,000. So I think that 1.25 million could have boosted up at least 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, all the way until maybe 10th. But it is what it is. It'll be interesting. Yeah. Less people will.
I can see it from both sides. I can see it from both sides just because, when you spread it out, that money on the bottom tier like that, you are like, just kind of hanging that carrot for everybody, for the people. You know what I mean? Give me a little taste of that 250. You know what I mean?
Maybe it's one for the little guys. Maybe the little guys get a W there.
I'm saying it's kind of like the play-in tournament in the NBA, right? You got to give the bottom dweller something to sniff so they keep fighting it all the way through the season, right?
Like,
keep paying attention.
It's tough. It's tough to want to max these with the way it's set up. But all the money's at the top. We knew that was going to happen. That's how they had it structured last year. But they only had 1 million for the regular season prize.
Mm-hmm.
I think they could have gotten away with doing just 2 million here, to be honest. But it's what they chose to do. So now I don't think our strategy really changes at all. You want to draft well-balanced teams. You want to advance as many times as possible. And well-correlated teams for week 17. Now, maybe if you start getting sniped, just a moment, Tyler. If you start getting sniped, maybe this is where you're like, all right, how do I try to win the regular season prize with this team? I lost all my possible stacks I could have gone for. How do I go for the regular season prize there? That's the only time that I could see a pivot could be worth it. Tyler, what's up, my man?
What is going on?
There
It's
he
draft
is.
time, baby.
Hey,
Dude's
young
on the
wizard.
lappy. Dude's on the
I,
laptop, but you did it.
Yeah, I'm going
You
to
made it.
apologize for the technical difficulties early and the terrible camera quality. The PC broke down. We're on the old laptop. Had some trouble getting it started up. Was
Oh, you're
not
good, Mr. Fix It.
was not doing well to start this, but we're ready. We're here for the long haul. Let's get it done.
Let's go.
Mhm.
Let's go.
Let's go, baby. Put it on the board.
EJ already putting out the snipe tweets right now.
So, quick true or false for you guys. Quick true or false. True or false, there will be a trade in the top 5 tonight.
True.
All right, let's get into the specifics.
Cardinals are desperate. The Cardinals are desperate.
Makes a lot of sense, though.
Yeah, but when everyone knows you want to trade out,
sure.
Honestly, you might get the best
craziness at the top of the draft this year. That's when you can kind of cash in on somebody. You know what I mean?
In my opinion, it depends on that pick right there. Depends on how high Indy is actually on the QB in the QB that they want. You might see something similar to like the Bears some years ago. The Trubinsky, they move up one pick. And they give away their whole franchise for years.
And they could have had Deshaun Watson right there. They could have had Patrick Mahomes. It's tough. I got a lot of family in Chicago, and they're still crying in their Cheerios over that move. But at least they righted some of their sins this year by trading back and stockpiling some of those picks.
I don't know if
I feel like that's where
talked about this. There was already a draft pick trade. Not a major trade, but the Eagles are trading the 3rd round pick for a 3rd and a 5th round pick to Philadelphia. So Eagles are getting pick number 66 for pick 94 and a 24 5th round pick.
With who?
I'm looking at it now.
So it's Arizona and Philly. So 3rd round picks.
Not the sexy pick. We're going around
not a sexy pick trade, but I mean we're already seeing right now. Seeing some movement.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I got to get the phone up here in range of the eyes because I'm sure there's going to be some.
You're going to get some
fireworks. I'm expecting DeAndre Hopkins to be traded tonight. I'm truly expecting that.
Yeah.
Very, very possible. I mean, if you're Arizona, why aren't you going to trade him? Like at this point, next year is going to essentially be a pretty tough, maybe another high draft pick kind of year. Why wouldn't you move him? He's not getting any younger. Cash in on that now.
Dude, been on the skates with the hockey do. Love that.
Classic.
Levis at pick 3.
I believe they call that flow in the ice rink. I don't know.
Yeah. Is that what it is? Is that what it is?
I believe that's
man. Can anyone confirm? I don't believe it happened yet, but there's a lot of buzz around Baltimore. There's a lot of buzz. So we'll see. I wouldn't be surprised because I think Buffalo can actually pay him the most. So I'm praying for Buffalo, to be honest. But
yeah, I think Buffalo needs that second wide receiver too. Like they absolutely need someone to complement Stephon Diggs. Gabe Davis has been serviceable, but I don't think he's getting it done. I don't think he's going to be a guy that takes him into the Super Bowl past the AFC Championship, especially with how competitive the AFC is looking to be this next year. You need weapons other than just Gabe Davis and Stephon Diggs. So I think
human equivalent of a dart. He is the dart throw of all darts.
Exactly.
I know.
Exactly.
So if a team's trading into the 3 spot, are they doing that to take, let's say it goes Bryce Young, and then let's say CJ Stroud goes at 2. If you're trading into the 3 spot, it's not for Will Levis, right? No, there's no way.
Right.
No.
It's got to be for the most upside guy.
I have to say, TB Bucks 02, I like where your head's at. He goes, I still think Levis falls out of the top 10. I think he's a bum. I'm not going to call him a bum per se, but I also don't think he should go above CJ Stroud. I strongly believe that.
I agree with you there. I'm hearing what I've heard over the past couple of days is that Houston may not even be looking quarterback at number 2. So
that's what we were saying before you got on.
Yeah, it's potentially a trade down situation at 2. I think Levis is kind of overrated in this draft. I'm not sure why
Yeah.
he came into this draft being so highly touted. I mean, he's
I'll tell you why. Because he needs to get his agent a big old Christmas basket this year. Because
That's true. That's
They're
true.
requiring him his way all the way up to the top of the board. It's pretty impressive. That's why you get the hype train up. Choo choo. Will Levis driving the hype train right now.
Exactly. Yeah, he's. I mean, if you look at his his stats just in the SEC last season, not something that you're really going to be reaching for the top 5 pick at. So I'm not sure where the buzz is from. So I think there's 3 actually like relevant quarterbacks in this draft, and maybe Hendon Hooker could be a serviceable quarterback in the future, but obviously he's not young compared to some of these other guys. He's 25 years old. And he's coming off an ACL injury.
Yeah.
So it's not like you're going to let him sit on the bench for another 4 or 5 years.
The vibes with Hendon Hooker for me are it's not great. It's not great. Where would he go? It would be at the end of the first, and it would be someone trading in my opinion, for him to get taken.
I've seen some mocks where either Tampa Bay takes him at 19 or trades back and takes him later in the draft. I've also seen some mocks of Seattle reaching up and taking him at 20 just to back up Geno. I mean, for a replacement of Geno, who knows? But they just linked Geno to that longer term deal, 3 years. So I've kind of seen him fall all over the board towards the bottom of this first round and even all the way back into the 3rd round. So I think it's really a question mark for Hendon Hooker at this point.
Yeah, I agree. All right, so we have they're on the clock, right?
On the clock.
It's officially draft season. I mean, this is one of my favorite days of the year. It combines my 2 favorite things: NFL, fantasy football, and just college sports. Man, I love the draft.
Yeah, absolutely.
Quentin Johnson to the Vikes. Interesting. Interesting. For me, I'd rather Jordan Addison over Quentin Johnston. Quentin Johnston's more the X receiver, right? So I don't really know where he would fit in that offense. I think if Jordan Addison ends up on the Vikings, that could really hurt. What's his face? The wide receiver 2 over there. Osborne. I gotta lower the spectrum.
I think Vikings
there it is.
Have to go wide receiver in the first round. And I think they're just going to be able to take whoever is available. I don't know if JSN is going to fall that deep. They could potentially trade up for him, or they're just going to let one of those other guys fall to him, whether it's Addison, Flowers, or Quentin Johnston. So
yeah, I was about to call that out. I don't see JSN falling that far. I think there's a ton of hype around him going pretty high at this point. I mean, we'll see what happens.
ER7, 20 likes, and we'll get Johnny to do 20 push-ups.
I'll see you guys tomorrow.
Yeah. Won't be able to lift his mouse.
Yeah, that's it. Are you kidding me, guys? What's going on here?
Where does Hooker go? Tyler just touched on it. You think Tampa Bay trades back in?
I think there's a potential for Tampa Bay to trade down in the first round, or even just kind of wait a little bit later into the second round to see if anyone reaches for him. But if you look later in the first round, there's not a lot of quarterback needy teams there. So I don't know if anyone's really going to be reaching for him. So Tampa Bay could potentially either trade down in the first round or just kind of let him sit and fall and just trade up in the second round. But there's not a whole lot of quarterback needy teams once you get past that top 5, top 10. And I don't see Hooker going that early.
Let me try to pull this up here. Now, my favorite speculation pick right now, I think everyone's favorite, it has to be Bijan, right? Like, where is Bijan going? And
that is the question of the night. I mean, he's definitely not getting out of tonight. That's for sure. I mean, there's some talk.
Oh God,
there's some talk of him going to Philadelphia. There's been obviously some hype around the Patriots, which is a bit of a head scratcher based on their roster and their glaring needed offensive tackle and cornerback. But he's so freaking talented. I wouldn't be surprised if he goes top 10. I mean, the Falcons obviously at 8 is another really possible landing spot for Bijan.
Where's your favorite landing spot for fantasy football? Where's the dream spot? Is it Philly?
It has to be Philly. It has to be
I'd
Philly.
say Philly
Immediately being plugged into arguably the best offensive line in football in a run-heavy system. Like, just all the playmakers they have over there, the way they run their offense with the dual threat quarterback of Jalen Hurts. I almost said Justin Fields, but of Jalen Hurts. I mean, it's just a dream backfield to have Bijan Robinson, Jalen Hurts, and then being able to throw out wide to Devontae Smith and AJ Brown. It's just like, that's the dreams fantasy scenario.
I don't know how you, in real life, I don't know how you stop that offense. Like, there's so much to worry about. I just, like, what do you do? You know what I mean? Someone's going to beat you. You know, it just depends on the reads. And we know the reads are right in Philadelphia. You know, they got the man now. They got the man. And I don't know, Bijan would be dangerous as a Philadelphia Eagle.
For everyone in the chat, where's your least favorite landing spot for Bijan? And even double down, what's the worst spot for your fantasy football exposures? Because for me, it's most likely Atlanta. Like, if he goes to Atlanta, I have a fair amount of Algier.
The reason why I prefer Philly for a fantasy situation is just the fact that the offense is so much better. And you're going to get so many more red zone and green zone looks. You know, you're going to see him a lot more on the goal line than you would if he was in a Falcons uniform. You know, so yes, there are more weapons in Philadelphia, but they could be putting up 40 freaking points a game next year with that offense if they added Bijan. So the opportunities would be there. I don't know. I hope it doesn't happen on some level, because you might as well just give him the Lombardi Trophy.
Accurate.
I mean, I think another like potential possibility, I mean, you could see Arizona trade down and potentially go for Bijan. You know, you have Connor. There's no one else in the backfield over in Arizona. Their offense kind of thrives on the run game to get started for Kyler Murray to be able to throw those crazy long ball passes to Hopkins. If they keep Hopkins, I mean, I could potentially see them trading down from 3, maybe a little bit later into the first round, not too late, but somewhere still in the top 15, top 12, so they can grab Bijan and, you know, guide Connor on his way out. I know Connor's one of my favorite value guys as of right now, just because of his touchdown performance, but that could easily change if they do end up trading down and they grab Bijan, because sometimes you just got to do that and take the best player on the board.
No doubt. We're also going to pull up. Let me pull up Underdog. Oh,
I agree with you, Tyler.
Picks coming in.
What'd you say?
Picks
coming in.
Oh, the pick is in.
Or we're just starting. They might just be starting up.
Yeah, Tyler, I have to echo what you're saying about Bijan. I mean, that is so much talent. I think people tend to overthink the whole. I understand why you don't want to take running back as high as you would, like, say 10 years ago. I mean, not to mention durability concerns would be pretty high on that list. But sometimes, you know, there are guys that are worth those those top 10 picks at running back, and I do feel that Bijan's one of those guys. I mean, you can line him up in the slot. He's a weapon. You know, this is an offensive weapon. So I do think wherever he lands, he's going to make a huge difference right away.
Absolutely.
Picks in. Heidi Gardner calling out the pick. No.
Is it
there's
Eric Stone Street? Are they just still doing this intro?
They're doing the
intro.
I was going to say,
let anyone other than Roger Goodell call out the first pick, right? Imagine.
This is like.
All right, there's Patty Mahomes.
It's funny because there's so much money. Like, just pick wise, like who's going first, who goes second,
right?
Who goes third. There's so much money.
Much money.
Honestly, no one lost more money for people than Underdog when they interviewed the QB coach. Who's it? Colt McCoy in Carolina. they interviewed him, and basically he said like, oh yeah, he was drooling over CJ Stroud, breaking down tape on CJ Stroud. So when Carolina traded into the 1 spot, everyone thought it was a done deal. And then we see him start to slip in recent mocks and on Twitter.
Personally, I don't
I
get it.
mean-
I mean, I understand the IQ on Bryce Young. I understand he's a great quarterback. Don't get me wrong, but I'm going to go with the cliche here, and that size definitely freaks me out a little bit. I mean, how do you guys feel about it? Do you think it's no big deal?
That's what I was just going to say. Like, are you saying that Bryce Young is going to be the one outlier in NFL history to perform at his size and weight? Like, yes, he has the talent and he has the brain to do it, but you put him into a crappy system and you just force him to just throw the ball and go out there and play against these grown men, he's going to get banged up. He's got no offensive line still. If he goes to Carolina, what we're expecting is him to go to Carolina. He's going to get banged up early. So,
Yeah.
I mean, it's not easy to see over your line when you're that height either. I mean, Drew Brees, don't get me wrong, Drew Brees is amazing, Hall of Famer, but he's Drew Brees. There's one Drew Brees. Like, I don't know, maybe this guy will do it. I'd love to see him succeed. Don't get me wrong. Just if I'm staring down that number 1 pick and I'm got my mind made up, it's gonna be a quarterback, I'm going CJ Stroud, baby.
Damn. I hope he falls so bad. I'm praying he falls to Indy. If he falls to Indy, you will see my Alec Pierce shares.
Well, that's not that bad,
Twitter.
though. Like, falling to 4, I mean, I don't know. Like, okay, I guess that's falling. You know, if he falls, like, into the teens, then we'll call it a fall.
No.
yeah, I mean, there's still a lot of
but
those
he
like
was projected
weird...
number 1.
No, that's
Vegas.
true.
Vegas
That's
for
true.
so long. So the fact that he falls anywhere out of the top 3 it's just fascinating, because right when you think that everyone has the order of these QBs and where they're going and everyone's drafting like you're right, which is good to do,
Sure.
it just gets flipped upside down. And it's like, hey, do you have those Bryce Young, Terrace Marshall shares? Like, no.
Yeah. Let me ask you a question. Obviously, the Jets have Aaron Rodgers, but let's say the Jets didn't have Aaron Rodgers, right? And they could turn back the clock on their drafting of Zach Wilson. Do they select Justin Fields? Do they select Mac Jones? What do you think?
Knowing what you know now.
Yeah, it's got to be Fields. I thought that I couldn't believe that it didn't take Fields when it happened. Tyler, what are you saying?
I'm shocked. I think you have to say that it's Fields. Like, I think he's the only other quarterback in the draft class that, like, I wouldn't be taking Mac Jones over Justin Fields if we did an NFL redraft today.
Of course, Mac Jones thing was a little tongue in cheek.
Dude, Tyler, Ben is trying to outdo you with the hot takes right here. We have a Mims over Quentin Johnston.
Woo!
Hey,
I love it.
I'm always loving a hot take, but that's a little bit much for me. Mims is a phenomenal receiver, but Quentin Johnston, I mean, some of the comps he's getting, like the size, the athleticism of him, he's getting like DK Metcalf type comps.
Let's talk about
his pass on a receiver that has size and strength and speed like he does.
He
just an NFL ready body.
The hands aren't there for me with QJ though, man. Like, he catches everything with his body. You know, he's out there catching it with his neck. You know what I mean? Doing one of these. You know, not a whole lot of snatching it out of the air. In the NFL,
couple catches
and grab that sumbitch.
In the combine, a lot of these. He showed a little bit with his hands.
There were a lot of these similar like concerns with DK Metcalf, which is why he fell so late into the second round a few years ago. So, like, I mean, you just look at the sheer athleticism and size of a player like that, and you know they're just going to be better than the next person.
Come on, we all saw that photo of DK.
I know.
We all saw that photo.
I know.
Like, come on, you didn't select that guy.
But why take DK Metcalf when you can get N'Keal Harry in the first round?
Right. Or Quentin Johnson, who's the same guy. Man, I'm really interested in seeing where Zay Flowers ends up too. I've been seeing a lot of, and this is just honestly, I think it's smoke. I've seen a lot of Chargers, right? And the reason being is in college, when I forget the first college that he's set to play for, but then he like canceled, transferred, and followed the wide receiver coach, right? So that's basically the storyline. And now that wide receiver coach is the wide receiver coach for the Chargers. That doesn't mean anything, in my opinion. That doesn't mean anything. It's not a hint. It's not a clue. I think it's early for Zay Flowers, who I like him. I like him a lot, but I see him dropping to the end of the first and even potential day 2 guy.
I don't think he'll fall out of the first round, but I could easily see him going down into the 20s. I think he's too freaking talented to go in the second round this year. I know the wide receiver class, is decent, but personally for me, he's in the top echelon.
I like his game. I like his separation, and he runs different routes. Like he can play all over the field, but
that's the thing. He separates with crafty route running. You know what I mean? Yeah. And that's something like if you come into the league with that, you can only add on it. You could be a dangerous dude.
Yeah. Now,
I'd be shocked if he fell outside of the top.
Yeah, my man Reed knows what's
25 picks. I'd be really shocked if he fell outside of the top of the first round.
KC brought him in for a little practice at like days ago. We're talking less than a week ago. KC brought him in for a little throw around with Patty Mahomes. So they might now be interested if he falls at the end of the first. So that would be a fiery landing spot for Flowers. Fantasy Garage, what's up, my man? Welcome to the live stream. Bryce, what's up? Welcome. Bleed Green. Celts are on, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, 8:30, baby. They started 15 minutes.
We got 4 minutes left in the Carolina pick.
I know. Don't they know we got a freaking Celtics game to watch later?
Are they hearing trades? What's going on?
I know. What is going on with Carolina right now?
We trade up, trade back.
Guys, we get mad like for fantasy football, right? And you get like a minute for a pick. Like for me, I think that's long. Some people do a minute and a half. But if you're picking like first, you should know who
fantasy dysfunctional is laying down some heat right there, and that makes all the sense in the world to me with this world that we're living in. That the time the NFL makes them for ad revenue, that rings very true.
Milk
fair.
it.
Yeah, I buy that easily.
Yeah, milk it. I believe it.
Yeah, they're like, don't you dare take that pick right away. Do you have any idea how much money we're losing?
You should call your grandmother before you call the pick in.
Can we just also point out the fact that, Philadelphia Eagles were just in the Super Bowl last year.
Picks in.
Mm-hmm.
And they have 2 first-round picks this year. One of them's a top 10 pick.
Yeah, but they're losing.
It's crazy. And the Seahawks picking at 5. It's freaking trade. Just looking unbelievable.
Trades. Yeah, you look back, even the LA and Detroit trade, it worked out in the short term because you got the Super Bowl ring, but now it's starting to bite you because your team's hurting top to bottom. You're losing people left and right, and Detroit's just eating away at your picks and your chance to rebuild.
The funny thing about that too, Tyler, is they sold out for the ring, but they got it in the COVID year where they couldn't really cash in on, you know what I mean? Like they didn't get those tickets there. They didn't get any of that. So it's like the concessions during the playoffs, they lost out on all that shit. So they sold out, they got their ring, but it's not, and I'm not saying there's an asterisk. I don't believe that, but there is an asterisk from a financial standpoint.
Yeah. I'm excited for this pick. I didn't think it'd be this exciting. I'm excited for this.
Every year it's always exciting, no matter who it is. We know
it's
a surefire pick, but it's always just so exciting.
They're clapping.
I'm more excited for
DJ.
Do we have any Panthers fans in the chat?
Pounding.
Do they exist?
There it is.
Has anyone?
It's off the board. Bryce Young.
Dude, someone's computer, mine's probably behind. I'm watching it on a PC.
Oh, mine's struggling.
Sorry, I might be like a few seconds ahead of you then. I'm watching it on the ESPN stream.
I'm watching it on my phone and it froze. Be young, baby.
Nice Young.
All right. Now this is where things get a
Yeah.
little interesting here.
Yeah.
What do we think? Take a vote. Houston, do they take the pick? Do they take a quarterback or they go defensive edge? What are we thinking?
No QB. No QB.
I think you'd be silly to not take a quarterback here if you're Houston. You're looking to rebuild. Next year's quarterback class doesn't look great. I mean, yes, you have like Quinn Ewers in a few years. You have Arch Manning in a few years. But are you banking on being that bad for that long? Is that what your hopes to be a bottom of the barrel team for the next 4 years? So you can potentially go ahead and take a quarterback 1 or 2 or 3 over the next 5 years? I think you need to go for a quarterback here.
And I wouldn't be surprised if they went edge either, just because, I mean, here's the thing. If you're not totally in love with one of these quarterbacks, you're taking second overall. You can set your franchise back a decade by taking the wrong quarterback at second overall. So if you're not 1,000% in on this dude, go edge. You can't go wrong. Can't go wrong.
Don't you think they could potentially just like wait until pick 12 to get an edge rusher? Like, do you think Nolan Smith falls to 12? I think it's possible he could.
Yeah, I like what you're saying. You're making good a point. I agree, Van Buren boys. Now the fun begins.
I don't see why you'd wait to get a quarterback, you know? Like, if you have the board, you have the quarterback, you have 2 top 15 picks, you can get an edge rusher later in this draft.
Would it shock you if it was Anthony Richardson, though? Like this pick, it wouldn't shock me if it's AR.
It wouldn't shock me either.
How does this team get significantly better right away while shooting for the highest upside? I think AR, and then if Bijan's there at 12, you go Bijan and you say, hey, we got Bobby Trees, we got Dalton Schultz, we got Nico Collins. Maybe Mechie's healthy enough to play the season. Let's run the ball with Anthony Richardson and Bijan.
I love some Bobby Trees. The last time I saw Bobby Trees was on a milk carton because I'm wondering where the hell has this guy been?
Dude, poor Bobby Trees. Always hurt.
Always hurt.
5 minutes left for the Texans. Houston's not going to get instant better. No way. The way you do it, though, is with a rushing QB who can not take sacks and turn first downs on the ground with his feet, even if you don't have the weapons. They go in defense for sure. It wouldn't surprise me.
It wouldn't surprise me either, but what do you guys think about the firing of Lovie Smith? Like, I understand like what he did at the end of the year, but I feel like he already knew he was getting fired. So he's like, screw you guys, we're winning this game. I personally don't get it. To me, it seemed like he was motivating those guys. They were playing hard, you know? Mm-hmm. He's a winning coach, man. Like, all the guy does is win. I mean, he's got several 13-win seasons in Chicago. He went to the Super Bowl. I mean, I think he's a pretty good coach, but
I think it was a tough situation to come into. Obviously, it was a rebuilding franchise. You lost everyone. You traded away your franchise quarterback after some really kind of like egregious issues that were happening with the franchise and with the quarterback. So it's a tough situation to kind of come into and try to bandage that whole thing up. And the quarterbacks just kind of like fumbled and just never really like, you know, you thought Davis Mills was going to be somewhat stable this year after what he did last year, but he kind of just disappeared and forgot what football was for a while. And
Brevin Jordan coming to Brevin Jordan's on the same plane. Disappeared after year one.
I mean, what are you going to do? I think it's a rebuilding franchise, and you want to start at the position that, you know, is at the center of it all. Mm-hmm. I think you go with quarterback here. So I'd be shocked if they didn't.
DJ, baby, let's do it. Break out the Buckeye hat.
J5704, welcome to the live stream, says, in Naples, floating in the pool, watching draft and dog pound. Good to see the Holy Trinity back. The trifecta.
Excellent.
The trifecta has reunited. And
in. I don't know what they're waiting for now.
We got a couple Pats fans here, right? So it's just disheartening when every year you trade out of the first round, but even like when you don't, you miss your pick. So it's just better to trade out and get like more picks. We'll see what they do this year at 14. If Bijan's there, that would honestly be the biggest prize.
If you're gonna miss on one of the guys that's rated high. Like, don't waste your time and trade back for the 6.
Cole Strange,
like those
Chattanooga.
Sneaky like 5-6 round picks that you think are going to pan out every time.
Chattanooga deals.
Like, just draft the guys that are highly touted because, sometimes it doesn't pan out. But if you look at the past drafts, like most of these guys are in those like middle round picks, they're panning out to be good players.
Well, I think system's really important when it comes to the NFL draft. I mean, you got to look at
there he goes.
Oh, what do we got?
I don't know. I think I'm ahead of you guys, so I don't want to say it. But
my man, CJ Stroud.
There it is.
No way.
All right, strip club, baby. Let's go, CJ.
Cash that bet if you bet on the second pick overall to cry.
And now the Cardinals trade back.
Damn, CJ Stroud. I believe so.
If the Cardinals trade,
I believe so.
Who do you think would jump up to get a quarterback here?
Honestly, I could see the Colts being pressured to move up one spot.
That'd be aggressive. I mean,
I think it would be highly aggressive.
I feel like someone would want to jump then. You know what I mean?
It depends how much you want Anthony Richardson,
but
Arizona's not going to take him at 3.
No, but other teams will trade in front.
Slow it down.
Of the Colts.
Do you not know that Levis is the best quarterback on the planet Earth right now? You guys didn't know about that? Did you not get the memo?
He could throw on his knees, which may have been useful in Houston, but I could see him going to Minnesota Vikings. If he's still there for the Vikings, they might go Levis instead of receiver.
To answer your question, ER7, if they had only 30 seconds, there would be blood on the floor at the draft, I do believe.
Dude.
There'd be Baker's dozen heart attacks, maybe. I'm not sure.
Dude, it would be like your friend's first live draft. They'd be saying, I want him. It's like, that guy's already been drafted like 3 rounds ago.
Retired last year. I don't know.
That wouldn't work. It's the best. Oof. It's the best. I'm fully expecting a team to trade in.
Watch for Tennessee.
The Cardinals, I heard, are desperate to trade out. So I don't know how much they'll get.
Tennessee to reach up at this pick too. Like that's Tennessee's a sneaky team that's been kind of on that back burner as needing a quarterback. Malik Willis obviously didn't really turn into the guy that they wanted him to. Tannehill's gone after next year, and I would highly doubt that they were going to re-sign him. So I could potentially see Tennessee trading up for this pick and going with Anthony Richardson.
This range right here, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I think this is honestly Bijan range. I think there's a strong possibility he goes before, like in this range right here.
Yeah.
And that was the worry in the big board, the first one, Superflex, with those running backs, with Herbert, even with Penny. This is why Derrick Henry was going a little late. We don't really know if the Titans are going to move on from Derrick Henry. Maybe they get Bijan here and they move on from Henry.
I mean,
there's just a risk, right? So those Algier, same thing.
What do you think about Chicago?
Oh, my bad.
Chicago easily could go Bijan at 9.
They don't have a whole lot working for him in the running back. They just lost.
I could definitely see Chicago going Bijan at 9 without a doubt.
Herbert got hurt last year as well. Like,
yeah,
Herbert, I kind of view as like Tony Pollard, like very good with that like 12 to 14 touches range.
Yeah, I don't think he's an RB1.
I mean, the Bears need weapons. You know what I mean? That's absolutely what they need. And they need to protect Fields for sure. So if you give him a weapon in the backfield like Bijan, I mean, that's only both. You know, and you run that read option with those two guys, like that'd be a tough one to deal with.
I think it's an ideal situation for him to land there or Philadelphia. I don't like Atlanta as much, but I think just the way that Chicago
run-heavy
runs
team in the
offense,
NFL.
Yeah,
they are.
And who was number 2? Chicago. Chicago was number 2.
Bears. And they have a decent line too, and they'll probably improve their line a little bit today too, this weekend.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially when you have your quarterback, you just
Texans traded up to the number 3 pick. What?
No way.
You know what's crazy? I was going to say this earlier. I saw a mock draft.
Now we're talking. Nobody called that one.
I saw a mock draft with this earlier.
Wait a minute.
And I was going to bring it up, and I forgot to bring it up. But I saw a mock draft with Texans trading up to 3rd, and I thought, that's insane, right?
Wow.
But sure,
dude.
So wait, who's keeping on Hopkins a second ago? Where's Lovie Smith?
There's no way. There's no way Hopkins. There's no way Hopkins is going to Houston.
Where are you seeing the trade up?
Underdog. They're literally there talking. They're probably in the draft room.
I'm not seeing it on ESPN.
Oh, yeah, it's popping up right now.
They draft Levis too.
All right.
They draft Levis.
Yeah, he's gonna run the practice squad.
Oh God!
That way you got the guy behind the guy,
and the pick is in. So who are they going here? You think they go
Anderson?
I think they're going Anderson.
Dude, this isn't on the TV yet, right?
Yeah, it is. They have to go Anderson. Yeah, so I'm actually looking at the mock draft that I'm seeing right now. So NFL Network posted this. Daniel Jeremiah posted this yesterday at 8:00, and I saw it this morning. He predicted this, that Houston will trade into the 3rd spot with Arizona and get Will Anderson Jr.
That's unbelievable. That's sick. He's got boots on the ground, this guy.
Okay, so what are they getting? They're getting a pick trade this year in the 1st round, I'm guessing, and then what? A 2nd rounder next year or a 1st rounder? Like, can you really see
them? 1st rounder next year.
Wow, that's a lot to give up.
I mean, for the number 3 pick, I don't see them getting anything outside of a 1st rounder this year and potentially next year. Like if you're moving down to 12.
This tells me that they plan on being good this year.
Yeah.
Right? They plan on their 1st pick not being low. Like they plan on being like middle of the pack.
Hey, you gotta shake it up. You know, I mean, they sucked for so long.
So Dameon Pierce is safe. Dameon Pierce is safe
now.
So far.
Yeah,
so far.
Well, his boy Lovey's out of town. So we don't know.
Right.
Just feed the man.
I believe they took Will Anderson.
Talk about fireworks for Houston.
I can't. I mean,
fireworks.
Unbelievable,
dude. So, Indy, are they going Levis, or are they going AR?
Again, we talked about this earlier, and I'm not sold on Levis. You saw him play in the SEC, the most competitive division conference in college football, and he stunk. Most interceptions in the SEC last season for like amongst SEC quarterbacks.
His team.
There's a reason why I brought up that Jets pick, because I do think that Levis is gonna go the way of the Zach Wilson.
Yeah,
that's my opinion.
Anderson went 3, so now who? Wow. So what ultimately was the trade package?
I got it right here. Texans will get Will Anderson and a 2023 fourth round pick. Cardinals get a 2023 first round, the 12 overall. So that's a pick swap. A 2023 second round pick, like we said, a 2024 first round, and a 2024 third round. What a haul.
That's a good haul.
Unreal.
What a haul.
I expected them
so
to
much
get nothing
sense
less than a first round this year and next year. I mean, to get those extra 2 picks, that's really good.
This is the move, without a doubt, by Arizona. This is the move, the way to go. I mean, there's no reason. You got to maximize. You have so many holes on that squad. If you could turn that third pick into a haul like this, you got to do it. They cashed in. Way to go. Maybe they won't suck forever. We'll see.
Dude, I didn't think they would get that much. That's nice. But Reed says, what do you think the odds were that Houston wanted Stroud all along and played smoke and mirrors to get Carolina to draft Bryce Young? I think it's highly possible.
Highly
These
likely.
games are being played by all teams, like in this top range, trying to boost the value.
Mm-hmm.
Arizona was probably behind the Will Levis, like
the hype,
and
the
videos.
hype train.
Yeah. Yes. Millions of dollars went into the Will Levis Twitter metasphere.
Absolutely.
Even when you consider this for Houston too, like they're not. I mean, I wonder which pick they're going to be giving up next year because they still have Cleveland's first round pick for next year. So they had a first round pick to spare on this pick. So they basically just traded potentially Cleveland's pick next year for the third overall pick this year. So they still have a first round pick next year. So it's not like they're giving up fully on rebuilding because they still have a lot of draft picks next year.
True. Ah, man. So
this is fun. It's fun and getting funner here.
Okay, so Cardinals move back to 12. Honestly, do they think they can get Bijan here at 12? And that's who they wanted all along? Because that would sort of make sense to me, at least.
I mean, if Daniel Jeremiah predicted that trade, I'm just going to read off what he has for the rest of his mock.
Who's he have?
He's got Levis at 4.
Who's he have at 12? Arizona traded into 12 in his mock or no?
Yes, Arizona traded into 12, and they took Paris Johnson from Ohio State, the offensive tackle.
Yep.
Love me some Paris Johnson. It's going to be a real avalanche of tackles here in the middle of this round.
Hart says my Texans exposure. I don't know. We got to pump the brakes on that right now. We got to see.
Daniel Jeremiah.
So let's make a call. Put your money where your mouth is here. Who do we think? What quarterback are they going to take it for?
AR.
I still think it's going to be Anthony Richardson.
AR.
I think they should take Anthony Richardson, but I think they're going to take Levis.
Yeah, that'd be a shame, wouldn't it?
Honestly, for my Alec Pierce shares, which is the only thing everyone cares about, right?
Yep.
Who cares? They both have bombs for arms.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Like who cares? It's a win-win no matter what, in my opinion. So even Gardner Minshew provides a floor. Now the guy you don't want's Michael Pittman. Colts pick is in.
Still doing this interview with Will Anderson.
I'm just not in on Levis yet.
I'm definitely not in on Levis. That's why I think they're going to pick him.
So now if Levis falls, right, I love this. If Levis falls to a team where he's playing behind someone this year, everyone on Twitter has to apologize. And I'm talking about if you even liked a post that said Levis is going at 2, if you posted about it, if you saw it and didn't downvote it, which you can't do, it's just funny. Apologies will be sent out.
That's right. Receipts.
Levis at 2.
Taking receipts.
Check your bookmarks. Check your bookmarks on Twitter. If you guys aren't already following these two on Twitter, head over to my last post. I have them linked in the comments. we finally convinced them to join the Twitter sphere.
We got Smile.
Yeah. We're on the Twitter sphere. I'm going to be posting some fire. We're going to be doing some content once the season gets underway. Some daily NFL prop bets. So if you want some insider knowledge, we'll get those props out there and we'll make some money this season.
Dude, I need to see like the draft room for the Patriots just to make sure that Nike the dog's not inside. Oh, Anthony Richardson at 4.
Boom.
Yeah.
All right. So the question is, how far does Levis fall now? I'm glad that AR is the better quarterback. I just thought they were going to go Levy.
He's going to fall.
The levies will break.
It could be here, to be honest. He could be a Seahawk. Seahawks make sense. But
Seattle or Tennessee.
So Seahawks make sense, but it doesn't because 3-year deal behind Geno. You typically
That's what I'm saying.
You don't want to draft a QB this year.
No.
Maybe next year, 1 year
I don't
development.
think you're doing it.
No.
I don't think you're doing it this year at
what
5.
About the Falcons?
I mean, maybe in your later pick, but I think Tennessee is a possibility.
Titans at 11.
I think it's the most likely possibility. Even Washington at 16, maybe.
Yeah,
Tampa
he's gonna go tumbling here.
I mean, we knew this was going to happen. It was going to be top heavy with quarterbacks. Like
Vikings at 23.
3 guys are.
Oh, 3 QBs in the top 4 picks. Love to see it.
Yep, absolutely.
I don't think this pick's gonna be Levis just because of the Geno deal. If it was a 2-year deal, sure.
Yeah, I'd be surprised. I'd be surprised. And then those apologies definitely need to go out.
You don't want to waste more than 1 year on a QB rookie contract.
No. Especially if you're taking him in the top 10, you're paying him millions of dollars to sit on the bench.
Yeah. Yep. Minshew, in my opinion, is going to start first, and probably game 4, AR will come in. But it'll depend. Minshew's not a bad game manager, so if he can just manage to win some close games with Jonathan Taylor, hopefully he'll be healthy at the start of the season with his ankle. He might be able to fight off Anthony Richardson until week 6 or 7. Does Parlay have the Celtics on in the background?
To answer your question, I'm dedicated to the pound right now. Of course, the miracle of technology. I will DVRing it. We'll be watching it after the game. Please, no spoilers. I do know that I'm now inviting spoilers, but let's keep
However. Yeah, it's an exciting pick. I don't think it's great for Michael Pittman. Which I don't really care. I haven't been drafting a lot of Michael Pittman. He's still a little rich for the area he's going in. But I think Pittman, he has to fall a little bit. And Alec Pierce should, like, if he stays in that same range, I'm going to continue to draft Alec Pierce. Like, nothing changes for me. You give me a guy with a big arm and a wide receiver who runs straight down the field. Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, that was a good pick. I like that. I'm glad they went with Anthony Richardson. Definitely the right pick. This will be very, very interesting. So this would to me wouldn't be too surprising. I mean, I know you guys might disagree with me, but Najigba here to Seattle.
Wow.
Put him in the slot in that offense.
I think it's early for the first receiver. I don't think we see a receiver until 13.
I'd be surprised to see a receiver be taken here. I think Jalen Carter's the most likely scenario, unless they trade down. Seattle trades down, but I don't know why you'd trade down from here. Go get your guy. Get Jalen Carter. I think he's the best defensive player available.
Another interesting theory could be the Cardinals wanted a wide receiver because they know they're going to get rid of D-Hop. So trade into 12 where JSN most likely will fall to and take either JSN or Bijan there. I think that'd be interesting. Only offensive players. That's all I care about right now. Give us the offensive players.
I mean, that's the fantasy relevant guy.
Yeah, no doubt. Like Will Anderson, great player. He makes the Houston Texans defense better, right? Now, if I have a fantasy football quarterback, I want his defense to suck. I want it to be in this isn't going to fix the Texans
but
defense.
The flip side of that coin, Pat, if you have Pierce, you want the defense to be good. You know? The better the defense, the better the run game.
Right. Offense.
It all correlates, though. You know what I mean? Like, just because the guy doesn't appear to be fantasy relevant, it all correlates.
Without a doubt. Give me, Will Levis. One sec. Patriots at 14 have their eyes on a D2 lacrosse player.
They're definitely going to take a place kicker out of Michigan on that one.
You just won the internet.
Punter from
now
Notre Dame.
I'm rooting for KC to trade up for JSN. Unlikely, but would save me from having to believe in Tony or Sky. Yeah.
JSN is the real deal.
I mean, KC,
I don't
need
love
receivers.
Tony.
They need receivers, and JSN would immediately be the man.
Yeah, no doubt.
You're thinking JSN here at pick 5.
I'm not saying definitely, but I guess where I'm getting a little caught up is thinking about how dangerous that offense would be if you add him to the slot. That'd be tough to deal with. Geno, baby, he would love that. That's for sure.
Yeah.
See,
Lockett's another year older, so I can see needing another receiver, but
they don't play the same kind of. They don't play
20, dude.
You know what I mean? Like you have Lockett and DK. They don't do the same thing JSN does. That's the whole thing,
Right. I think it's rich. For a player who was hurt last year. Yeah, hopefully JSN drops to 20. That's what I was looking at right there.
I don't think he'll fall.
You have Seattle with the second. No, I think you're right. I don't think he will, but
I could see him going at 9 to Chicago as well. What can I say? I'm high on JSN.
At 20,
I can see the Packers going JSN.
That's what I was going to say. I mean,
Tennessee Titans. I think these three teams.
The Packers just lost Lazard. You traded away Devontae Adams a few years ago.
Yeah, you have 2 rookies there. You already have growing pains. You may as well add to it.
Yeah, right. I mean, give your young quarterback younger guys around him. Make the team young and let it grow. Kind of let that team be what it is, and just a young team that has room for growth. I mean, the sky's the limit when you just add a bunch of those young, talented players and put them all around each other. But I can see JSN going to Green Bay. I'd love to see him fall to a team like Minnesota because I think he's utilized way better than he would be in Green Bay. But I just don't see it likely him falling all the way that late.
Real quick on Minshew, right? And when we're talking about fantasy football relevance and week 17, what are the real chances that Minshew's actually starting week 17 now with Anthony Richardson? I feel like it would take an injury to Anthony Richardson for Minshew to be playing in those playoff weeks. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I don't think you're going to draft a quarterback at pick 4, like Johnny said earlier, pay him millions of dollars and have him sit behind Gardner Minshew. If it's an Aaron Rodgers that's sitting behind, if it's a Tom Brady, if it's one of those great guys that you're just letting him groom into a quarterback, sure, that makes sense. That's fine. Do that. Let him learn a year. But if you're drafting him to sit behind Gardner Minshew, I don't see it likely that Richardson is not the starter for at least 15 games this year.
Damn. Damn. At least 15. So you're saying after game 2, Minshew's out. What if he wins the first 2 games?
I wouldn't be surprised to see him beat Minshew out in camp.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like,
true.
It's hard for me to envision a world where Gardner Minshew is going to be starting over the number 4 overall pick.
I gotta say, I love me some Minshew, but yeah, Anthony Richardson. It depends on how his training goes. Oh, there he is. That's very distracting. Nike made it.
And with the Patriots' next draft pick.
Yeah. No, I agree, though. I'd be really surprised to see him go behind Minshew.
Yeah. Damn. So Anthony Richardson is probably going to be around a 6th round pick now. It's gross. It's gross. He has weapons, though. Like, it's an exciting offense, an exciting team for him to go to. If Levis went there, it would have been even exciting for Levis as well. Like, you have Jonathan Taylor to relieve some of that pressure. You just have weapons after weapons. Even Jelani Woods is like sort of like a gadget type tight end. Alec Pierce has spread the field, and you have Michael Pittman, who's still a good route runner. He's just not our favorite in half-point PPR.
So interesting pick here at 5.
Witherspoon.
Great prospect without a doubt, but I'm surprised to see him go at 5.
Where was he mocked?
I think he was mocked to 6.
Right around that
it's not
area.
A crazy reach or anything,
Yeah.
but I know Jalen Carter has like some of those those legal issues that he's battling right now. We're not sure where that's going to go, but I think the safe play is to take the best cornerback on the board, especially if you're Seattle, who kind of needs that like cornerback right now. Mm-hmm. They need defense. I think Detroit's probably thinking the same thing. They're probably going to go corner here. Maybe they just go Carter and beef up the defense.
I'm surprised they didn't go Carter personally. I think Carter would have been, if they're going to go defense, then Carter would have been the best pick. But maybe they're trying to bring the Legion of Boom back because this dude can absolutely lay it on. Devin Witherspoon is a very good prospect, but I guess part of me wanted to see what Najigba could do up there with Gino. So the question is,
Lions have another pick at 18 as well, this is expected to be a tight end. Cowboys are looking for a tight end. Cincy for a tight end. Saw a lot of Denzel.
Well,
Washington.
I wouldn't be surprised to see them go cornerback either, and go Christian Gonzalez here. And the reason being, we all know the situation in Detroit, how everyone passed all over them all year long. So I wouldn't be surprised to see them go.
Cardinals have traded up to the 6th spot.
All right, then. Throw that out the window.
So they move back to go up again?
So they traded away their value picks that they just got. Maybe they won both deals, though. And they still get the person they want.
I mean, hey, here comes Bijan right here. Maybe they reach up here to get Bijan.
Cardinals traded up to the 6th spot. Really?
Maybe this is to get Bijan. Because, I mean, I don't think he's making it past that 8, 9, 10 range. So maybe they're doing it just save their butts. Who knows?
That 8, 9, 10, even 11 range.
Yeah. That's where the danger zone is for Bijan to fall. So
for sure.
I'm not shocked I'm not surprised at all if it's Robinson. I mean,
right. I agree. Because it's not like you're not trading up that far to get a wide receiver, even if it is JSN, in my opinion.
And you're not doing it to get I mean, maybe you're doing it to get the Jalen Carter, but I think if you look at the rest of the board, Carter was most likely falling.
Absolutely ludicrous.
No.
Hey, we sort of called the fireworks. We knew there's going to be a lot of trades. I don't think we expected
No.
these types of trades where Houston trades into the 3 spot right after picking CJ
I'm
Stroud.
surprised that was mocked anywhere. I mean, that's pretty crazy.
So I have the details of the Cardinals trade. The Cardinals get first round pick, the 6 overall. Lions get their 12th pick, the Cardinals 12th pick in the first, and they get a second round pick this year. That's not a huge haul. That is not.
It's not a huge haul
to move
but
6 spots.
I mean, you're moving
They get a
back
second
6
round
spots.
pick.
If you're Detroit, you'd probably have your eye on someone at 12 in that range already that you were probably going to reach for. So I don't hate that at all. Like, you get a second round pick, and most likely you're grabbing someone at 12 that you would have grabbed at 6 anyways. So I don't hate it for Detroit. I think both teams kind of equally won that trade.
Yeah, but if you're Detroit and you just saw the Cardinals get an absolute haul, you're like, hey, give me some of that. Like, throw in a 5th round pick on that deal. Just to get a second seems a little flat, but again,
The pick is in.
It's 6 spots.
I agree. I mean, grab a 6th round at least. Give me a 6th rounder.
Give me a picks in. Obviously,
Here we go.
Maybe they trade this pick too.
Oh, so it's pick 34, so it's a pretty high pick for a second rounder.
Okay.
So
it's basically
it's just on that fringe. So it's a pretty high second round pick. So Cardinals have to have someone in their sights that they're like really wanting.
That makes sense.
I'll bet you it's Bijan.
How much?
Yeah, that wouldn't be a bad move.
I'll give you even odds.
Even odds. $20.
You can lean on him early in the year too. I mean, this dude, he's a game changer.
Here we go. He's marching up. There it goes.
It depends how happy they are in the draft room. Oh, it's not Bijan. It's not Bijan.
Wow. They reached up to 6 to get Paris Johnson.
Wow. I mean, I love me some Paris Johnson.
Tackle.
I'm surprised he's the first tackle off the board.
I'm surprised you had to reach up to 6 to get him.
Yep.
Maybe the Raiders or maybe Chicago was going to get him, but.
Yep. Definitely. 2 teams that are looking for tackles.
Yeah, that to me is surprising trade up there.
Dude, the Underdog app, if you're not already following them on not the app, but Twitter, Underdog NFL, they're faster than ESPN. It's nuts.
Yeah. I've noticed that already with just these first couple of picks.
Like we have the trade details before the pick's even in.
Yeah.
It's nuts. They do such a good job. It's insane.
I mean, when we're breaking down some of these first picks, they just tweeted that I'm reading now. What do you think of this Panthers new look offense with Bryce Young, Miles Sanders, Adam Thielen, DJ Chark, Terrace Marshall, Shenault, and Hayden Hurst? What are your initial thoughts to that offense?
I don't like it year one. It's going to take time. I think. I don't think that you're going to get a lot of huge spikes from Bryce Young for a best ball standpoint. Now for Dynasty, you're obviously excited with Stroud and Bryce Young, but it's going to depend on how they use their feet in the NFL. If they can start getting points on the ground, and they're both mobile QBs, it's not like they're pocket passers, strictly pocket passers. If they can get points on the ground, it's just, I'm not truly excited for year one rookie QBs. I mean, look at Trevor Lawrence. He needed a year. Most QBs need a year. There's couple outliers, but yeah, Miles Sanders is probably the most reliable person on that team. Who's your favorite between Hubbard or Foreman? It's gonna be
They're playing on
Hubbard for
different
me.
teams
Yeah, Foreman.
now.
Yeah,
Foreman's in Chicago.
yeah.
Hubbard's staying in Carolina. I mean, as of right now, with just the way the depth chart looks, I would go with Foreman over Hubbard. But
Okay, interesting. Yeah, I sort of like
or
Hubbard to
Foreman
come in on.
over.
We'll
Who did
see
I
how
say?
much of a third down role
They're the
Miles
same
Sanders
person.
takes this year too.
Yeah, I think they're going to utilize him a lot more than Philadelphia did. But
The Lions have 5 picks in the top 55 in this year's draft. They have picked 12, 18, 34, 48, and 55.
talk about a rebuilding team. Like, they've done it right. You know, it's a team that
Damn.
a franchise that's perpetual losers.
Dude, you can go Levis at 12, and then you can go Mayer or Kincaid at 18, and you're building with depth. Like,
Yeah. I think they need to focus on defense as a franchise, but if we're looking on a fantasy aspect, yeah, take the quarterback, take the tight end. But I mean, if you're a franchise, I think your focus is defense this year.
you can go defense. You can go defense later. You got other picks.
What about this? AT&T's deal is back.
Oh, geez.
Was that you?
Yeah, I was on backup screen.
Are you running ads on the channel now? You just get $10 for that?
What can I say? You know, cutting side deals.
So I just told Tyler and the fellas that the Lions have 5 picks now inside the top 55.
Wow.
So I said they should go.
A whole
They should
lot
go
of talent that's
offense.
going to be biting kneecaps down there.
We got the Raiders on next. This has to be defense, right? This has to be
Yeah.
defense.
I think it's in the division you're playing into, you're going corner here.
That makes a lot of sense.
And let me ask this. I'm going to ask this to the pound here. Whoever your team is, let us know who you would like to see your team pick. And I know we're talking fantasy here, but let's talk. Who's your team? Who do you want? Like, how about you guys? Who do you want the Patriots to take at 14? You want tackle, cornerback, trade back? What are we doing?
Trade back.
What I want them to do is take a wide receiver.
You do?
I
At
want
14.
them to take a wide receiver at 14. Will they? No.
Honestly, depending on who's there, I'd like to see them either take a tackle or a cornerback.
KCJSN. Dreaming. Now, trade up. That'd be insane.
But if my boy JSN falls down to 14, then snatch him.
Right?
Let me see.
I mean, I think a lot of these teams are too, like, they're licking their chops for next year's wide receiver class with Marvin Harrison Jr.
Well, what do you think about all this? The Zay Flowers, all the hype. Zay Flowers to New England.
Too early.
I like Flowers.
Too early.
I think 14's too early.
We could trade back and get Flowers. I wouldn't mind that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I wouldn't be surprised, like, if they take a wide receiver, but if they do, I think they would trade back to do it.
He's a great player. He's a great route runner. But, I mean, he's listed, like, barely at 5'9". I know Tyler Lockett's 5'10". He's made a career out of being that long ball receiver, but they need a true wide receiver 1. And I don't think someone who's barely 5'9" is going to be a true wide receiver 1 in this league, especially when you're playing against some of these, like, really long corners, and you have to go against Sauce Gardner twice a year, who's the longest corner in the league and one of the most locked down guys out there right now. I just don't see that panning out too well for Flowers.
It's fair points,
pick?
but the guy wins
Tyree.
with precision route running, you know. But
Ben says Tyree Wilson. Is that the pick?
Pick
He
is
might
in. They haven't announced it yet. He's
Ben
coming up
knows.
to the stage.
If anyone
Does-
knows, Ben knows.
So Hart wants JSN to Kansas City, as he's been saying, and that would be pretty sweet for you.
KC has 10 picks in this year's draft, but I don't see them moving back into the first or moving even up in the first because a lot of those are like 4th, 5th, 6th rounds. They have like 2 in the 4th, 2 in the 5th, and like 2 in the 7th or something.
I think they're going corner here.
I think Casey would be lucky if they could get Zay Flowers at the end of round 1. I think that'd be an absolute sick landing spot. Yeah, Tyree Wilson, pick 7.
Oh, they went the end.
Classic leaking.
But he should have put hundreds on it right there. You had a chance.
It did. Yeah.
Ben's in direct connection with the families.
That's it. He's talking to Waj.
He's literally
Ben
at the house.
Is the guy that's delivering the envelope to Roger Goodell, and he's looking at it before he gives it to him.
Hashtag Ben knows. It's the wrench. It just gives you like special powers like that.
It's a very knowledgeable pounder.
So now we enter this Bijan zone.
Mm-hmm.
Pipe dream, but let me live. We'll let you live it. All right. Updated trade summary. Cardinals get 1st round pick, 6 overall, and a 3rd round pick, number 81 overall. Lions get 1st round pick, 12 overall. 2nd round pick, 34 overall, and 5th round pick, 168 overall. So they did throw in that 5th round pick. They did throw it in, but they got a 3rd rounder back for that 2nd round pick, Tyler. So they kind of hedged.
So not bad. Yeah, they hedged it a little bit, but still, that's an early 2nd round pick. So, and I mean, I don't love the move up to 6 to get an offensive tackle. I think you were getting
aggressive.
12. I think you were getting one at 12.
I think you could have possibly gotten him at 12.
Dude, Tyree Wilson's fit though tonight. No undershirt, just letting it flow.
These guys,
Feeling the flow. You put the quarter in.
The outfits that come out from the draft is just like
always amazing. It's always must-see TV. But so the move up to get Paris Johnson, it shows that all this talk about Peter Skoronski's short T-Rex-like arms are clearly people are worried about the T-Rex arms. You know what I mean? But I look at this guy. I think he's the most NFL-ready tackle right now in the draft. I think he's a beast. So I honestly, I thought he was going to be the first tackle off the board, but people are worried about it. People are worried.
Damn.
That's all I've heard about the guy in the past 2 weeks is how short his arms are. I'm like, have you watched this guy play?
True. Throwing people.
Just absolutely beasting people. Like this, and he's tough. Like he's a gritty lineman, and that's always a good quality in an offensive lineman.
So the only thing I
is in already.
Love that. Titans. That's going to be one to watch out for Levis. If Levis doesn't go at 11 to the Titans, 12 to Detroit is a potential spot. It really.
That pick
really
has been
What's
tossed around. Look at that 12th pick. Traded from Cleveland to Houston to Arizona to Detroit.
Goff's a free agent in 2025. So it does sort of make sense to bring in a QB, but they won't play this year.
So Ben's saying that Bijan's going to Atlanta.
Tough. Yeah. This wouldn't surprise me. It's the most run-heavy team in the NFL.
Yeah.
Wouldn't surprise me at all. Now, am I hoping he doesn't go to Atlanta? Sure.
I'd like
I
to see
think
him
it's a
fall
good
one more
landing
pick
spot
and end
for
up
him,
in
though.
Chicago.
I think it's a good landing spot for Bijan, to be honest.
Is
Yeah,
it
it is. Young
official?
quarterback.
Did Ben tell us it's official? Is he talking to Arthur Blank right now?
I think they actually called Ben and said, "Should we do this?"
Yeah.
He's put 200% in the chat right now. So
Okay.
I'm calling this like
Okay.
pretty official.
We'll see. So does that mean Cordell Patterson just cut, gone, bye, see ya?
Hey, he's still one of the greatest return men ever. So they could use that, right?
Doesn't hurt.
Vapor, welcome to the live stream, says, "What's up? Just noticed you guys are live. Do we hate the Young, Stroud, and Richardson landing spots? My portfolio is loving it." I don't mind any of those landing spots. I wasn't really drafting a lot. Now you guys can tell me how you were doing it. I wasn't drafting a lot of Stroud in the first big board. I wasn't drafting a lot of Bryce Young either. So like I didn't really miss on too many of those like Bryce Young Carolina stacks because I wasn't doing it.
Yeah. I had more Bryce Young and CJ Stroud than I originally planned. Problem was I kept waiting on quarterbacks and ended up taking some rooks.
Yep.
For upside,
I think Richardson's the real winner here because he's going to a team where he has a pretty easy way to start in the NFL. You have to beat out Gardner Minshew.
Mm-hmm. And you can always just hand that ball off to JT when things are getting a little crazy. You got a nice little security blanket there to calm things down for the rook,
Yeah, it's a really good situation.
Conference or the division he's in too, like some of those teams he's playing twice a year. We know Tennessee had one of the worst passing defenses in the NFL last year. So like not a bad place to end up if you're looking to play Tennessee twice a year. You get some comfortable games. Jacksonville wasn't great against the pass last year either, but I think landing spots for all three is actually kind of best case scenario for each quarterback. I think with Bryce Young, it's going to take maybe a year or two to get that offense going. Same with CJ Stroud. So
I have to agree with you about the AFC South. I think that if this was the Premier League, the whole entire division would be facing relegation. I'm just saying. That might be it.
If this is Bijan, like you have Ritter. Oh my. Okay, so Eagles trade into the 9 spot. They traded one pick. They went from 10 to 9.
Stockpiling picks. Pretty smart.
The Bears went from
9
to 10.
So then what's this pick?
Is this not Bijan then?
It must not be Bijan.
This must not be Bijan in my opinion.
I don't think it's Bijan because no way Philly would trade up if it wasn't to get Bijan.
Oh, I gotta put this live.
It's not Bijan.
Okay, I have the details on the Eagles trade as well. Oh, Bijan
went to the Eagles.
Falcons.
No, he went to the Falcons.
The Falcons.
Holy
okay.
Shit. So why is Philly trading up one pick then?
I gotta say, my main internet's having a hard time keeping up on these trades. Wow. These trades are overloading my internet.
Yeah, so Jalen Carter must be heading
Falcons
Philly, then.
To the moon, right?
I mean, yeah.
Pitts, London, Bijan. You gotta feel pretty nice about that.
I think that's a great landing spot for him, without a doubt.
Algiers punching a wall somewhere right now in Atlanta.
Yeah, I have my Algier shares are. Hold on, I'm gonna take a sip from my Algier shares because I will need it.
Yeah, that just nuked it. So where do we put Algier? Really? He's got to be shit. He's basically a handcuff at this point.
He is. He's a handcuff.
He's going to be in the 180s, 190s.
Yep. Yep. Oh, that hurts. That one hurts. I feel like I'm gonna have to check the old board here, but I feel like I have him as like RB 3 and 2 more than I should.
That's
Bijan
the
is
difficulty though of
yeah.
of making these drafts so early is like it's so premature. Like a lot of these guys,
Oh, without a doubt.
they're blowing up
fun.
teams, but it's great. Yeah,
It's
absolutely.
fun
I'm
to
not
try
saying,
to have
I'm not
that.
saying it's not.
No, but like as far as the guest room goes, like trying to strategize, like, okay, I think this is how it's gonna play out. Well, guess what? I was wrong about the Algier situation.
Okay, so
I'm
the
like, you're about to
Eagles,
lean into this, dude.
the Eagles trade into the 9 spot. They were originally in the 10 spot. The Bears trade into the 10 spot, who were originally in the 9 spot, and they get a 2024 fourth round pick.
Okay. So kind of just like maybe just a formality from Philly so they can sure up getting at Jalen Carter, right?
I think
mean,
so.
That's kind of, or Nolan Smith. I
think so.
Those are
I
the
think
two
it's
guys
Carter.
you're looking at.
Damn.
Unless it's a corner and they go with
Dude.
Gonzalez, but
A lot of trades. A lot of trades.
A lot of trades. A lot of trades.
expect
Things
wildness.
interesting.
Do you think that has anything to do with Bijan getting selected one pick before the Bears too? Like, all right, we'll trade back like we really wanted Bijan.
That wouldn't surprise me at all. You know what I mean?
think
If
so.
the guy you have targeted gets picked one pick ahead, you draft him. Going back is never a bad move. Especially when you're the Bears and you have habitually pissed away draft picks in trade. Like, it's truly unbelievable. That's kind of their MO. So looks like they've learned from their sins. And here they are making some smart plays. I mean, this draft, I think there's plenty of value. So moving back here, it's a good move for a team that has a lot of needs.
Yeah. This was the risk with this range of running backs too, was the draft. Can you survive not only Bijan, but this is a deep class.
Yeah.
This is a class that you can get a guy come into the team and like a Zach Charbonnet and take over first and second down from you. Khalil Herbert's not safe. He's not safe yet.
No, I don't think so at all. And I think, Philly having that like late first round pick too at pick 30, I think that's where you could see Jahmyr Gibbs fall to. I know he's RB2 off this board, and I think that's another great landing spot for him. He's a great pass catcher, very physical runner, fits well in Philly. So I think, it's not the worst case scenario for Philly to have lost out on Bijan and still going to be able to potentially get a Jahmyr Gibbs later on in the first round.
There's definitely some good running backs in this draft. I mean, Zach Cabernet. How do you pronounce his last name? Somebody help me.
I say Charbonnet.
Charbonnet, there it is.
Charbonnet.
Out of UCLA. That dude can play.
Yeah, he's very good. It is a very deep running back class.
He's just like typical running back size, like 3 down back. He won't come off. He doesn't have to come off the field much. So I don't know. I just see Herbert as that 12, 13 carry type guy, sort of like Tony Pollard. So I think they're going to add depth at running back.
Like a change of pace type situation.
Got to give Drew his props here, saying he called the Levis fall.
There it is, my man.
I saw him like a post on Twitter the other day. It said Levis a 2, but.
But hey, here in the pound, you called it, so we got your back.
It's fair. Damn. Already been how many trades? This was a trade. 1, 2, 3, 4 trades. 4 trades. That's wild.
And if you're counting the Chicago trade back a couple weeks ago.
Fair.
It's been a crazy draft already. I mean,
a lot of fireworks, but Levis just sitting in that room, watching all his QB friends, like just disappearing, It's just him and Hooker. It's funny because what's going through his mind as he sees the Vegas odds change, right? Like he sees he's now the favorite to go at 2. That has to be an absolute roller coaster.
Mm-hmm.
Now you're like, where am I going to go and when? That can't be a good feeling.
That's it. He's free falling.
Good news again. Ben is on fire. Did he call Carter? Everyone else called Carter. Vapor called Carter. Yeah.
I'm convinced Ben is a hacker and he's hacking into every single database of the NFL.
I'm telling you, he's the one bringing the envelope to Roger Goodell, and he's just opening it up, reading it, and he's texting in the chat right now, just saying what the pick is.
There's shenanigans at play here. That's for sure.
Yeah. Jalen Carter. Georgia.
Good player. Great player.
Yeah.
Great
Projected the top 3 pick early on, but
the rich get richer.
You're watching it right now, but
yeah.
Oh, look at this. Ben, breaking news.
Where? Read
Darnell
it out.
Wright to Chicago.
He's got Darnell Wright to Shy Teasy.
Okay. Yeah, I hear selecting defensive players from Georgia is a good idea.
Yeah.
So it's,
yeah. It's
good,
worked
good
out
pick
well
by the Eagles.
Somebody just tell this guy, don't put ketchup on a hot dog in Chicago. They will kick you out of the city. You're out for that. Spicy mustard, yellow mustard only. There will be no ketchup. I don't make the rules.
When's the first tight end going off the board? Is it Green Bay pick here at 13? That seems early.
Maybe.
I think this is good. I think this would be JSN. I think it'd be JSN before a tight end, but
I think it has to be wide receiver before a tight end. If you're going to go for someone like a pass catcher, I think you have to take a wide receiver over a tight end. I know tight ends do more than just catch passes, but if you're looking offensively, you got to take a wide receiver.
Dude, especially like Darnell Washington, like late in the first round, I think he could sneak in to a team like Cincy that Irv Smith Jr. You really think he's going to be? I don't see it. I think Darnell Washington kind of sneaks in here, and he also provides some run blocking as well.
Yeah,
like
he's an absolute. He's just a unit.
He's like 6'7", 250. He's just faster than Gronk.
He's an absolute unit.
Bears pick is in.
Ben's already got the pick.
Oh yeah. Everyone can go home. Ben, just tweet us.
I mean, this would be a pretty crazy reach for Darnell
He's
Wright
the
to
next
go here.
Obviously.
This would be a pretty crazy
Lions could
reach
take a
for Darnell
as
Wright
well.
to go here.
Lions are good on receiver, though. They really need a tight end. And if you can get someone that can work as a run blocker as well as a good pass catching tight end like Michael Mayer at 18 for the Lions, that'd be absolutely beautiful for them.
I think they just need
that
to
would be a
change the
great
offensive line. Give Justin Fields like another second to work with back in the pocket.
You know, it's interesting with all these quarterbacks going so high when you're looking at position players, and it's crazy because you already take how many quarterbacks have gone? 4 or 3?
3. We're waiting on Levis.
Yeah, we're waiting on Levis. So it's like if your team isn't a team that was in the market for a quarterback, that's like 3 picks that never happened. You know what I mean? So if you're like, for instance, for the Patriots, it's like picking at 11, you know, because you were never going to take a QB. At least, who knows? Maybe they take Levis and blow everybody away. That would be the most Belichick thing ever.
Oh, no. Oh, no. Now I have to hope he goes to Tennessee.
I think
I don't want Levis. I put him on the thummy with that dumb haircut.
I think I'd throw up if he went to 14.
Dude,
Hooker Davon.
we've seen crazier things.
It'll be a late trade. It'd be a late trade. Like, I don't know. One of these teams would have to trade out.
Yeah, I mean, you just look at like the last 10, 15 picks of the draft. Like, no one's really QB needy outside of Tampa Bay. And
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Tampa Bay scoops him up. I mean, there's been a lot of mocks sending him to Tampa. Take that for what it's worth. But
at that point, it's like you might as well trade down and just take him in the second round because no one else is really going to be like.
Well, it depends how much
there.
It depends on how high he is on their board.
Yeah.
If Jerry Maguire got to them and got him up to the second overall pick. Because it's like I've been seeing that all week. Levis second off the board, but not so much.
Yeah.
I think,
and people are already celebrating early, like, oh, look how much Levis I got in big board super flex. It's like it's early. Have you ever watched an NFL draft before? It never goes the way you think.
Never goes the way you think. It's always interesting.
If Levis falls past the Titans here, it's time to. I think Hooker is a day 2 cat if he goes past the Titans here.
Yeah, I agree.
Picks in. Tackle.
It is Darnell Wright. How the hell is he knowing all this? Darnell Wright was mocked in the late first round pick.
It's the wrench.
That is insane, man.
Someone clip it. I don't even know what that means. I just saw someone say it. It sounded cool.
Clip it.
Clip it.
Darnell Wright was mocked late first round in everything I saw.
Darnell Wright to Chicago.
I mean, who are your sources? Are you talking to Adam Schefter?
Dude, Ben is Adam Schefter. Just Ben.
I know. He is the Adam Schefter. My phone just told me Trae Young has 25 points at half.
Let me see.
Well, that's not good for the Celtics then, is it?
Son of a...
I'm going to screenshot this for Ben. I don't know if I did that right. That looks good. That's funny. Dude, that's how many picks has Ben got right now? Is that 3 or 4?
I think that's 4.
I thought he was working in a warehouse. All of a sudden, he's like at the draft in the war room.
Ari Mirov. He's leaking on Twitter.
Come on. Come on, Ben.
That's too funny.
That's hilarious. That's messed up. This guy's
That is too funny.
I'm looking it up now.
Yeah, right? I think I'm going to start following that.
I'm not going to follow him. Or maybe I'll follow him for tonight and then unfollow. Petty. Be petty like that. You're only good for leaking the picks 3 seconds before I need them.
So then, Ben, is this going to be
sidetrack? But my boy Jason Van Buren over here talking about Missoula's misuse of timeouts. I'm going to have to stamp that and agree with it 100%. It's been the hardest thing to watch all year long. And back to the NFL draft.
Yes.
Oh, it's been brutal.
Oh my God.
So we know this pick already. I'm on the Twitter right now. He posted this like 3 minutes ago.
I think he got banned. I can't. I know, right? All right. So Tennessee. Dude, it's tough. Tennessee needs so much. Like, it wouldn't shock me if they went JSN here,
Mm-hmm.
but this is a team that can shore up on defense as well.
I'm surprised Gonzalez has fallen so far, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I really like Gonzalez.
Yes.
6'1". I mean, extremely talented, smooth.
I'm very surprised.
He's
at
got soft
Chicago reaching
hands.
a
That's
little
right. What are you surprised at, Tyler?
I'm surprised Chicago reached for Darnell Wright. I mean,
I
every
am
mock draft
too.
I saw had him late first round pick. So
I am too. I'm
I
very
mean-
surprised to see him be the second tackle off the board.
over Skoronski.
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you right now, the more I look at this, the more I think the Patriots are going to take him at 14.
Skoronski.
Oh yeah, that it's such a New England pick.
This could be Gonzalez here.
I mean, it's just like Belichick to pick a guy who everyone else is low on because of some one thing, like the arm thing. Like I could easily see him being like, that means nothing. My dog wants Skoronski. No good? No Nike jokes?
Dude,
The thing is,
I can't take the dog jokes anymore.
the thing is, like, I can't with Belichick drafting. I can't take any jokes with him drafting because I'm just so sick of the way it's been done over the last 4 years.
Fair. I mean, he has hit on the one thing though, like if he picks an offensive lineman, you can rest assured he's going to be pretty good. Most generally.
Right.
I like Cole Strange.
Generally.
Think he's going to be very good.
Dude, he's a project. Like there was reports that Bill had to work one-on-one with him like a majority of the practices, and he didn't get better. Like the times he didn't give up a sack, he gave up a penalty, a flag.
Yeah, I am somewhat surprised that they took Chattanooga at that. However, I do think he's a beast. I don't know. I think he'll figure it out. We're missing Dante Scarnecchia, that's for sure. Bring him back. Couple days.
Will do. Welcome to the live stream. Says, what does this drop mean for Levis? It's go time. It's go time for Levis. It's time for him to get a little nervous now. If he doesn't end up in Tennessee, which this very easily could be wide receiver, like Levis could fall. Levis could fall pretty far.
Absolutely. Vapor gets
like
it.
Like 19, Tampa Bay would make sense.
Yeah, I'm thinking more and more that that's where he's going to land.
I read the tweet. I know who's being selected here.
Oh,
Read the tweet.
what's the
I
position?
know who it is.
Give us the position.
I think that gives it entirely away.
JSN.
No.
All right.
I mean, the
Is it
pick is
tackle?
in there announcing it. The pick is in there announcing it in like 10 seconds here. So I'll let you guys find out.
So are you on the Twitter machine? You hanging out with Ben?
I found the Twitter machine. I did the
He
Twitter
found the
thing.
source that drops
Found
it
Found
like
the source.
1 minute
Direct
early.
from the source.
I mean, he dropped this 5 minutes ago. So this pick has been in for.
Shut up.
He dropped this tweet
Man,
5 minutes ago. He is miles ahead of everyone else.
Oh shit. I got it.
You found it? Yeah. Well,
The suspense is killing me, guys.
It's not.
How late is your
It's
stream?
not anyone we talked about.
how late's your stream? How behind is your stream right now, Johnny?
What? I mean,
Roger
it says
just got
pick
on.
it in. All I got is
They
pick
know.
us in over here.
They've announced it on ESPN now.
Everything is behind here in Maine. How many times I need to tell you?
Gibbs at 12. No way. No way.
Yeah. Wow.
Confirmed. Gibbs at
Confirmed.
12.
Wow.
Confirmed.
Moving on from the
Skoronski at
clock
11.
Swift.
No.
And Jamar
That's
Gibbs
crazy.
at 12.
But it just,
So
I mean,
now
we
you
saw it
have-
all last year. They don't like
I
him.
need another beer.
Now
another
you
beer after that
have
one.
David Montgomery,
Gibbs at
DeAndre
12?
Swift, and Jameer Gibbs.
What?
We saw it all
What are
last
you-
year, though. Detroit doesn't believe in Swift. I mean,
What
I
are
wouldn't
you
be
doing?
surprised at all if he gets traded.
Yeah, I mean, he is entering a contract year, so I don't doubt that he gets traded in this draft. But
One thing I was hearing a lot last year coming out of Detroit was that they just didn't like his toughness and that they didn't think he fit what they were trying to build culture-wise. And he did. So, I mean, this pick clearly shows that that might be true.
Yeah.
That's how they feel.
I mean, if you're Detroit, though, you have needs elsewhere. Like your defense needs help bad. You can't win every game on the back of Jared Goff. Like that's not going to happen. So, I think it's crazy for them to take a risk at
Yeah. I'm surprised too, but it's telling, right? It's very telling. I mean, Williams is gone. So
They brought in Montgomery though to back up Swift. So now you have 3 like could be RB1s on.
well, did they
any
bring him
team
in to back up
NFL.
Swift, or did they bring him in to help replace Swift? You know,
Exactly. So maybe this is them saying we're trading Swift this year. He's in a contract year, so maybe they're going to trade him and another team's willing to give him a pay.
see, so Tennessee goes with my boy Skoronski. They like the T-Rex arms. They're not afraid.
I'm surprised that Tennessee went offensive line. Actually, not so much. I figured it
Well,
would have been.
they'll run team. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, no question. I
this
figured
is
it would be
interesting
either.
stuff, though. This is fascinating. I mean, we got some really good players left on the board here.
So that takes away from Philly being able to take Gibbs late, but
Yeah, I agree with Ben. I wouldn't be surprised at all. I mean, you're seeing JSN get mocked to Green Bay a lot. Again, take that for what it's worth. But I wouldn't be surprised at all if they pick him here. They certainly need to help Love out. Show him some love. Get him a weapon.
imagine they go Levis here though, and they say, "No love for you," and they just take Levis and start him.
Well, you know, that'd be interesting. It depends on. I mean, they've had plenty of time to look at Love, plenty of time to analyze if they think he's the guy for them. I mean, certainly they ruffled some feathers with that pick. So, but if he's not the guy, and you believe that Levis is, then you got to do it. But I wouldn't be surprised if they go wide receiver here, though.
No way.
And it's crazy to
Confirmed.
think too, like
Confirmed. It's on the big screen.
What?
it's crazy to think too, like Detroit had every opportunity to take Bijan,
I did just
and they
change the
traded
diaper.
down for
Yeah.
Gibbs.
You know, they added some picks in the process. Maybe they had
Yeah.
you know. I agree with you though. I mean, Bijan's I think the better prospect.
So, okay. Is anyone? Did we talk about it? Is Swift going to Cincy now?
Swift has got to be on his way out of Detroit.
He's definitely on his way out.
Got to be
He
out.
might be on his way out
Yeah.
tonight.
Free DeAndre Swift. This might be a good thing.
It could very well could be a great thing for him.
It's
If not, we're switching
Either
to
that, or they're
hard
going to
shit.
let him rot.
we got some excellent analysis out of Vaporware over here. 2 running backs in the top 12 before any wide receivers. Is this 2003? That's a valid question.
No, this
Very
is the way
valid
it's supposed to,
question.
this is the way it's supposed to be. Now, this is early for Gibbs. I didn't see anyone put him this early.
I didn't either.
Like in the early 20s.
I am very surprised to see 2 running backs go already. I mean, you never know.
Charbonnet
I thought
Charbonnet
it was
could
gonna be a
be a
stretch.
day one guy now. Easily.
Absolutely. He could
Oh, yeah.
absolutely be that
Easily.
late round running back to Philly.
Mhm.
I mean, I was thinking that Gibbs was going to fall down there, but Detroit just kind of threw a wrench into that plan. And
Dude, this has
Now
to be
Philly's got it.
JSN. This has to be.
The real
mean-
question is, how many picks do we get in this trade down at 14 for the Patriots? Are they going to Are they going to add 2 or 3 picks when they trade down?
3. They like to. That's the thing. Like, we hit on a lot of like 3rd and 4th round guys. Like, not as of late.
Oh, yeah.
In years past. But that's because we have so many picks. You keep trading down. Like,
yeah.
When you pick every single player in the 4th round, it's
then
one
you
of them's
sign-
got to hit.
then you
That's
sign
the sweet
every
spot.
free agent to come work out.
That is a sweet spot for them. But
BC, Boston College. Now, if JSN is on the board and we select Zay Flowers over JSN, like,
yeah, I honestly, I don't think
Signing
you'll
out.
be on the board.
You'll see my stream end very abruptly.
Oh
It'll be
my
because I
God.
snapped my laptop over my kneecap.
Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be Ben, who's Green Bay picking here? Is it JSN or what? Let me know.
It's JSN.
So I think it's JSN.
They could go tight
But if
end.
he's
Would you
sitting
really
there
go-
for New England and they don't take him, I will be upset. They trade
I
him
would be
back
very
and they
upset.
end up
last
taking
year, George
Yeah.
Pickens was on the board.
Oh,
and
I
they
know.
had, like Tyquan Thornton. And it's like,
I know. And we take a dude that broke his collarbone in preseason.
Yeah.
Pickens had the character issues though in college. Like he got into a lot of stuff. So like maybe that was the main concern with the Patriots and Bill not wanting to take him was just off field or like even on field character issues with Pickens. So
I hate it.
I don't know.
Yeah, I hate it too. Pickens was the
What?
I mean, it's a lot like the
Dude.
DK situation where it's like just look at the dude. Like that is a professional wide receiver. And instead we pick a guy that looks like he could be playing with the Smurfs.
Dude, they didn't go wide receiver here.
They went
Okay.
Van Ness.
Okay, so here we go.
Oh
So
my
this is
God.
it for us now. If they need to go JSN, right?
Yeah,
They have
Hart,
to.
I wouldn't be
My
surprised at
God.
all, Hart, if the Patriots trade with Kansas City right now. Let me just say that would be a very New England thing to do.
I didn't
And
think
just
Van Ness would
completely
go
throw
this
their
early.
chances to win out the window for the next 10 years.
Are you questioning the trade down? I mean, I'd be
I'm
so surprised.
not. But if you
I-
trade him to Kansas City, you're giving Patrick Mahomes one of the like best weapons in this draft
Hart,
class. And you're
I
saying,
agree. I just want him to take the guy. Like, take him.
right?
You know?
Just take him. Just
Just
do
take
it.
him. He's sitting there. I know. I was just saying.
Just do it.
Dude,
Just
Christian
do it.
Watson shares are safe, but
For now.
I don't think they go anywhere. Like,
Yeah,
think
I
he's
mean,
sort
we-
of going near his.
Love is still the quarterback, right?
Like, I'll still select him in this range, but I don't think he moves. Like, he's not a riser because of this. He was only a potential faller, in my opinion. And this isn't to say that Green Bay doesn't trade back in at the end of this first round and get like a Jordan Addison or something. Jordan Addison's a bad. I wouldn't go Jordan Addison, but maybe a Quentin Johnson, get that extra receiver. That would make sense in my opinion for Green Bay. Take a shot on Quentin Johnson. All right, don't.
No spoils.
I
I'm
know.
not spoiling.
I
it,
know.
but
I'm,
no
turning,
spoilers
I'm, not,
on
I'm not looking at the comments.
Not
until
looking at the
that's
Twitter.
up.
I
Turn
am
the
blocking
comments
you.
Ben needs to be muted for the next.
Yeah, mute.
Like
Relax,
Ben.
Ben.
Ben,
Get
put your
go play
wrench.
with your wrench.
Put your wrench away, Ben.
Yeah, go
Jeez.
play with that wrench. Oil that thing up.
One of the Detroit running backs to play running back for a 6-week suspension. That was the receiver, Williams, that got suspended.
maybe they just put Gibbs at wide receiver.
I mean,
Luke Van Ness.
yeah, that makes sense. Like you can, but yeah, you can. Honestly, that tells me that Detroit's going for it this year. The fact that they go Gibbs at 12, they're trying to make a push. in my opinion. And the Packers, I'm seeing the pick right now.
Van Ness, right?
Yeah, along with like they have Devontae Watt, Kenny Clark, Preston Smith, Van Ness, Rashawn Gary. Like it's looking better. It's looking better because their defense was pretty crap. They weren't able to really get at the QB. So that should help. Oh, we traded it to the Steelers. Motherfucker.
Oh, it's the most inevitable.
What are the Steelers doing?
So inevitable. You know what they're going to do? They're going to take JNS. I guarantee you. I guarantee it. I guarantee it.
Jason.
This is the wide receiver team. They always pick the best wide receivers. We all know it.
No.
It's a given.
Dude, it's so busy.
Boom.
No,
Ben, you
so
get it.
busy.
You understand where I'm coming from.
What are you
too
doing
busy.
with
It's going to happen.
So you move
Because of
down
the
to what,
Steelers.
17, maybe, if that's what the first round, if it even is for a
Bro.
first round pick, they're moving down to 17. But I highly doubt they probably got an 8th round pick and a 55th
I hope
round
they
pick.
got something.
8th round pick. we got one of their cheerleaders.
We get a guaranteed first bid at an undrafted free agent.
Oh man!
All right, no, it can't be JSN, dude. They just brought in Allen Robinson.
Who?
Allen Robinson's a Pittsburgh.
Who
So
did you say?
Deontay Johnson, George Pickens, Allen Robinson, Pat.
Please don't talk to me about Allen Robinson.
Buddy, they have Calvin Austin.
Nightmares about that, dude.
We're doing a pick trade with one of our first round cheerleaders.
They get
we get a 4th round. All right.
Unrestricted access to
So now the question is, who do they trade back 17 with?
Wait, did we see the deal?
Number 17 and a 4th rounder.
A 4th rounder, yeah.
What the fuck?
Classic, though. I mean, that's the most standard thing. You knew it was going to happen.
So does that mean we're going Zay Flowers at 17? Like we didn't want JSN? Like,
I mean,
I don't think I don't think they even pick a 17. I bet they go back again.
I think it's hard to see JSN falling past either the Jets or the Commanders. I think one of those two teams is going to take him.
Steelers do not take JSN. That's all I'll say.
Okay.
Yeah, they took. Oh,
dude. So the Jets? Imagine.
I wouldn't be surprised. And the Patriots gift wrapped him, drove him down to the Meadowlands.
We play you twice a year.
If they give JSN to Aaron Rodgers and just he's going to dismantle that franchise for the next
1 second.
Oh my god!
I think I have to put $15 on the Jets to win the Super Bowl right now.
before Vegas gets a hold of it.
Before JSN goes to the Jets.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Before the odds drastically change, once people realize the mistake that's been made by the rest of the NFL. Oh.
Sorry, 15. I'm burning $15 right now. Dude, they already have an elite defense.
Is J5704? Is that legit? Because if it is, I wouldn't be surprised. Pass trade 17 for 22 and a 5th, or is he just talking shit?
I don't doubt it.
I don't doubt it at all.
I don't doubt
it at all. I actually strongly believe they're going to trade back if that didn't already happen.
I'm actively doing it.
Oh, I already did it. I already put money on the Jets to win the Super Bowl.
You're a sick puppy. You're a sick.
I I mean, look at the way that it's trended for the quarterbacks that have been traded to franchises like that already. Like Stafford won a Super Bowl, Manning won a Super Bowl, Brady won a Super Bowl. You just sell out and you get yourself a stud quarterback who's proven to win. It's really all you need, right?
Well, you need in today's NFL, you need one, maybe two stud wide receivers too. I mean, that's what we've been seeing. That's the trend. I mean, unless you have Pat Mahomes, which solves all problems.
Garrett Wilson and Alan Lazard are. I mean, don't sleep on Hardman.
Oh no,
there.
the Jets are going to be
Corey
for real.
Davis,
Corey Davis. The Jets are going to be for real. There's no question about it. And especially if they when they add JSN. Nike, you son of a bitch. Stop trading.
With the 17th pick, the Patriots are trading back again.
Of course. Well, they got stockpile picks. They want to make sure they get all the long snappers. There's a few good long snappers this year. Got to make sure you scoop those guys up in the second round.
VPNs, I heard, aren't working on Underdog right now, too. If someone could confirm that, but I think the VPNs are messing up. Reed, thanks for chilling with us. I'm just seeing this. Thanks for coming out, man. This has been one of the crazier drafts that I can remember.
It's so predictable by New England to just do this.
Oh, that was...
we all called it.
Oh, it was like
jokingly, but it was wholeheartedly we knew it was going to happen.
No,
right?
there was no joke. You could set your freaking clock to it. Trade in the first round, especially with whenever they have a high pick like that. I mean, they took Mayo at 8. That's the last time I can remember them really. I mean, obviously they took Mac at 14, but
dude, the Jets are win now. The Jets are win now too.
Yeah.
They're going all in with Rodgers. You bring in Rodgers, you trade away draft capital. If they don't win a Super Bowl, they bust. That trade sucked for them.
Absolutely.
So this has to be JSN or Mayer or Kincaid. It has to be an offensive player, right?
I think so. Or maybe they do what Green Bay did and they take Levis here, right? Just to help Rodgers out.
That would literally kill Rodgers. He wouldn't make his old heart.
Dude, he wouldn't even buy a house. He'd be trade me.
The old Jordan Love.
Yeah, O-line heart. That's a good call. I could see them going O-line here.
Yeah, to help.
Without a doubt.
JSN, in my opinion,
Roderick Jones
really
Robert Jones went to Pittsburgh. My bad.
JSN, in my opinion, is really the only wide receiver worthy for the first round. Jordan Addison. I have Zay Flowers ahead of Quentin Johnson, but
I have Zay Flowers ahead of Quentin Jones as well. I think Zay Flowers is second best in this draft class.
It's just
about the route.
The thing with Zay Flowers is the red flag about the declare, true senior, I believe, and his blowout. He didn't really excel until his senior year, so sort of red flags. But when you watch him, right, he passes the eye test. I'm not an NFL scout. But when I see a guy dig into the dirt and change directions like he can, show me another guy.
Ben's rocking full squad over here.
Dude, if Zay Flowers goes to any high-powered offense, like you said, Chargers or the Chiefs, the Bills, even the Cowboys. I don't think he.
I wouldn't be surprised if the Patriots do stand pat at 17 and they take Zay Flowers. That wouldn't be the most surprising thing either, because they love the guy. I mean, they sat down and taught him the playbook already.
Yeah,
that was a strange pick or a strange trade with the Steelers.
And they picked a guy that a lot of people thought the Patriots are going to take, Broderick Jones. That was I saw him a lot of mocks because they certainly could use him. I mean, I was hoping that if they stayed pat at 14, I was hoping for a tackle or a cornerback.
So my 16% Antonio Gibson safe, at least for now. What I didn't understand really is Brian Robinson's ADP, and there's people on Twitter early into the big board that were like, "Oh, he's my favorite at like around 100." I'm like, that seems kind of gross. Give me the guy who goes later and actually outproduced in Gibson. Is it in yet? On the clock. They're really. They must be hearing trades. They must be hearing trade talks.
They've got to be. They have someone on the back burner who they're picking, and they're just listening to trade offers right now.
Yeah. Do you want JSN or not? That's what.
Looks like
They got to call you, Raj. Who do you want us to pick? It's probably in the contract.
Looks like they did something. They're all high five and hugging. So they drafted somebody or they traded.
Like Rogers loves the pick. He loves it.
He made him happy.
Let's drink some ayahuasca.
I mean, this isn't going to be Christian Gonzalez. They don't need a cornerback, but
I mean, if it was, dude, that would be scary.
Why not just solidify your defense?
Oh, in today's NFL, I mean, that would be pretty badass.
It'd be pretty insane to just have.
I love this, dude. Honestly, I need to figure out the new ADPs after the rookies start to settle a little bit. We're going to be covering Best Ball Mania live, and we'll be able to like identify it really quick. And I'll be sending out tweets too, so make sure you're following us on the Twitter machine, and I'll start to identify where I think these guys are gonna land before they actually do. Like Algier, he's probably gonna be like, what do you guys say? I think he's gonna be in the 150s to 170s now that Bijan's in Atlanta. He's gonna be change of pace / handcuff.
That's it.
Yeah,
that's it. It's devastating.
Like P. Ryan, like how P. Ryan opened up the tournament. That's where he should be. No JSN. Thank God. So Washington on the clock.
Washington, maybe Levis here. They still need a quarterback.
I could see that.
I can also see JSN or Zay Flowers. I can see a receiver here.
So fill me in up here in Maine. Who did the Jets pick?
I don't have it yet.
Okay. Will McDonald.
Ronald McDonald? Who?
Yeah, exactly. Will McDonald the fourth.
That could be. I look over
to my right screen where I have the draft on, and it says in the bottom left, Jets pick is in. And then they showed JSN, so they also had his name right next to the Jets pick is in.
Oh.
No, don't do that. Like my heart, cramped up.
Jason Van Buren, that's a good little reference there. Struggling. He was struggling.
All right. They seem happy, but they don't seem that happy.
Did they wash the Gatorade off?
I don't know. It feels like they picked like a tackle or a center. Oh, cool. They got to make a wish, kid. He's getting me hyped. Zach Wilson is announcing the pick. J5704 winning the internet tonight.
from his hospital bed.
The Make-A-Wish dream was meeting Aaron Rodgers. He didn't think he was going to be taking his job. So that's Christian funny. Gonzalez. Wow.
So now we got to dodge one more pick and hope that JSN
Dude.
is still there for them to trade back again and not draft him.
Did we trade back because we want Will Levis?
Right? Imagine.
I'm telling you right now.
I can't.
Oh,
Okay.
man.
Edge. They went with Will
It just would
McDonald.
be the most Patriots thing of all time.
They're going to trade back again. They're going to do it again.
Yeah, because they want to make sure they
just-
secure the top end of the second round so they can get Levis.
They're going to do it again.
Wow.
They're
I
gonna
mean, they
trade back
worked them
for
out. I know we're joking around here. They did work them out in a top 30 meeting, which a lot of people turned a lot of heads, obviously.
I think this is early for Will McDonald, but all right. That's interesting.
Oh,
Shoring
man.
up the defense a little bit. Like, okay.
Sure.
Okay.
Another guy to beat down on Mac Jones for another year.
Yeah.
Poor Mac. Poor Mac. Like, take a tackle. We don't have tackles.
Max just
They
punching
need
the
to
air
stick
right
us in.
now. Like, give me JSN.
Give me anything.
Sees the
Right,
Jets
Washington's
defense get
pick is in.
stronger.
It's not JSN.
Okay.
For Washington.
It is not JSN.
This is
New England
unbelievable. I can't believe he's
is
fallen this far.
Back up.
I really can't.
Oh my. More defense for Washington. Still rebuilding.
A 25-year rebuild.
Perpetual rebuild.
See, it's okay. We can make fun of other teams because we make fun of our own, right?
That's right.
You gotta be
Exactly.
able to give it and take it.
I'm
And we
shocked
suck.
that Gonzalez is still falling.
It's unbelievable. That would be a great pick for the Patriots too. Like a fantastic pick.
I agree. I wouldn't be mad with Gonzalez.
Oh, I'd be so pleased. Like in most mocks, he was going in the top 10. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, again, it's just like
Yeah,
Again,
a lot of like
It shows how
Raiders at 7.
yeah.
it shows how like closed off and quiet all these franchises are with what their picks are.
Sure.
Like it shows like the strategy that goes into like drafting. Like they know things, they
Oh.
want people for certain reasons, and like you can mock all these players just based off their talent to 1 to 32. You can mock them just based off their talent, but there's things that GMs and coaches are seeing with every single player, whether they fit with their scheme or not. And
Oh,
They-
their
they're-
boards
they're
are
talking.
completely different than what we're looking
Oh,
at.
absolutely.
right?
When it shows like best available, like
Yeah,
it's not
like
even.
they're looking at Kuiper's best available, and they're seeing Will Levis at 1, and they're laughing, having him as their fucking 55th quarterback off the board.
Sure. Yeah, well, speaking of those ESPN rankings, they have Gonzalez at 8th overall. I mean,
Right.
I love his game. Think he'd be a great
Same.
addition. I mean, you got so much talent
Same.
left on the board here, and this is kind of what we were talking about. QBs going high like that. I mean, you got Dalton Kincaid sitting there, Nolan Smith, JSN, Michael Mayer. I mean, it's a
We
lot
just
of
brought
good
in
players.
Jaceki. Hit the gritty.
Yeah,
Hit the gritty.
could just hit the gritty. It's
Fuck.
just take somebody.
Commander's pick is in. All right. Is anyone gonna be surprised when the Patriots trade back again?
No.
No.
I'm
This
just
is
waiting
a-
to see the report that they trade back again. At this point, I'm just waiting to see that report. Or for
Yeah.
them to just take, I don't know, Kent State's third string kicker because he's got that slot potential.
I always go with a place kicker out of a long snapper out of Navy.
Exactly.
He has the perfect size foot. It's a 10.5. It's real nice.
He shows real potential to be a slot receiver someday.
That's right. This year
it
smells like a D3 year. I think you're going with someone out of D3 this time around. I mean, you can't just look over that talent. There's a lot of talent. You just don't want to breeze over all that, you know?
Now, realistically, Patriots, they like to go defense, right? When they pick these early picks, they're not really known for offensive receivers in the first round.
Or offensive line. I mean,
true.
But again, they were sitting there at 14. Broderick Jones was sitting right there. Apparently, they didn't like it, you know? So, question is,
another one's off the board. Are you still going to?
Do they like someone at 17 that's left on the board? Exactly.
Oh, God. This is going to be a Nike draft, isn't it? He's just going to go. I'm already feeling it. He's like, yeah, we're just going to trade back a little bit because the guy I have is like ranked 78th.
Yeah.
A chew toy from underneath the couch.
Yep. Matthew Bergeron, right? He's 6'5", 318 pounds out of Syracuse. That's the kind of guy. I don't think they should take him here, but that's the kind of guy I could see them maybe trading back again and taking.
I'm inevitably waiting to be disappointed.
Devontae Parker, Tyquan Thornton.
Yep. Get
Hunter
used to
Henry, Gesicki.
Get used to it. They gotta protect. They gotta protect Mac. The guy can't run.
Forbes, cornerback.
You can't run away from a pug.
Inevitably waiting to be disappointed by this pick.
Or trade back.
That counts as a disappointment, yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, I hope Hendon Hooker ends up in Tennessee because that means all my Tannehill shares are safe.
Yeah. I don't doubt that as a location too.
Titans trade in late into the first round or get him in the second.
All right, the pick is already in for the Patriots.
Shut up.
They made the pick? It's got to be Gonzalez.
It has to be a trade.
Right. That early.
Picking for. Come on, give me Gonzalez. He's sitting there. Just sitting there waiting for you.
Yeah, I think.
Is
it going to be one of those years where we go best available?
They need help on the outside. What do you think, Pat?
It has to be. It has to be. It has to be. Look at the division you're playing in.
Yeah, exactly.
You're not. You either have to be able to put up points or stop them from scoring. Right?
That's it.
We like to play those tight scoring games and run the ball.
You need you need to.
It's not going to work this year.
Somehow. Garrett Wilson now, like the division is really good, you know, and there's a lot of weapons to worry about. We need help. Can't be leaning on Jalen Mills.
Defense for Patriots.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Do you know who it is?
You don't.
I do.
Are you happy? You look happy.
I'm fine.
You don't look happy at all.
You're pissed.
I'm fine with it. I wanted JSN. That's me. I wanted a receiver.
Is it Gonzalez or what?
Well, yeah.
Yes!
Our receiving core.
You nailed it.
You needed
good
a corner.
You should get happier.
It's fine. I'm happy with it.
Yeah, let's go. That's awesome.
It's a fantastic
pick. It is
pick.
a good pick.
Buddy, Bill Belichick right there on the big board, selecting the best available by ADP.
That's
it.
The
value. Scooping the value.
No, it's a good pick. I like it. I love it.
I love it. I'm not going to say I wouldn't love JSN, but we're dire need to help our corner.
Wanna who's not happy?
That
Christian Gonzalez. He looks pissed. He looks like Tyler looks.
Jay asked if that was Ray John Rondo. I do think that they are related.
Oh shit.
It's a good pick. It is a good pick, but
Big baller brand.
you know, ultimately, like when your offense scores 3 points, doesn't matter how well your defense performs.
Well, here's the thing. I think we all
They're gonna win the
know.
ball.
Let's address
They're
the
gonna win the ball.
elephant in the room with a beard, aka Patricia. Now that he is no longer calling the plays, I do think that the offense is going to change drastically just by addition by subtraction.
I like that. I like that.
I mean,
Yes.
we now have
Tyquan Thornton shares are safe for now.
Oh,
For now.
yeah.
I'm shocked that a wide receiver still has not been taken, and we're almost done.
That
with
is
the first round.
unbelievable. In 2023, we're at 18 and a wide receiver hasn't been picked yet.
To the gulags. Yeah, he doesn't look happy. He's actively looking for an exit, actually. As he
He's like, wait,
walks to the
Belichick's
stage.
my coach. Uh-oh.
Yeah. You're partying to
Looks like I
work
have
out
to read the
ratio.
playbook.
That's
Well,
great.
I'm
That's
starting
a
to
great
change my tune a little bit about this excitement. The guy doesn't even want to be there.
He looks miserable.
Hilarious.
I mean, can you blame him?
Lions. This is the perfect spot for a tight end.
This
Perfect
is
spot for a
tight end or Will Levis.
Will Levis
Yeah,
at 19.
Yeah, Vapor's not wrong.
We're gonna see the Seahawks at 20 get JSN. Called
Yeah.
that earlier.
Yep, we were talking about that
21.
earlier.
21 Zay Flowers. 23 Quentin Johnson.
I believe I said they should take him at 5. So I believe in JSN to Seattle.
I think it's a good spot, especially
It's a
with
really good fit. Like it's
Tyler
a really
Lockett
good
getting
fit.
older, like being old, actually.
But
not
it's the
getting
way
older.
he fits with Lockett and DK Metcalf for next season that I think would be dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
I'm waiting. I'm waiting on Geno next year.
The thing is, Christian Gonzalez should be happy because he's going to learn a shit ton from Matt Patricia.
I mean, maybe he doesn't want to work that hard. I don't know. All you hear about New England.
I think he's pissed because he went at 17, like so late.
That makes sense. He did fall. Like people had him very high. I mean, he lost a couple $1 million right just there. So
right, he has to return the necklace now.
Yeah, he's got a few million reasons to be upset.
Yeah, and he also has to guard Diggs twice a year, Wilson twice a year.
Oh yeah,
Tyreek Hill twice a year.
Well, that he should get fired up.
Too happy about that.
No, I should be fired up about that. Let's compete.
Hell yeah.
Or get fucking torched.
He's good, man. He's really good.
He's very good. I know he's very good. He's a very good player. So I'm happy with the pick. I know they
and in the scheme, in the Patriots scheme, like he's a weapon, man. They need somebody like that. They need someone they can do press man coverage with. Let's go.
Y'all gonna keep streaming because I think I'm gonna have to call it.
Yeah, you can peace.
All right, boys.
I'll stay on for a little bit longer. John is as long as you want to stay on.
We're hanging in there probably till the fourth. Full disclosure, I have had the Celtics game going on down here. It's a tight one. 98-96, 1 minute left in the third.
Oh, damn. High score.
98-96 Boston.
All right.
But,
all right, boys. Well,
see you, Ty.
It was a pleasure.
All right, Tyler.
We'll catch you, brother.
We'll keep our fingers crossed. Some good stuff happens and good fortune falls to all the fantasy owners out there for the rest of this draft.
Later, bro.
Thank you, brother.
Peace.
We'll catch you, T.
Vapor's peacing out as well.
I want to see up to the Chargers.
Who are we talking about now?
I want to see up to the Chargers pick. So 1, 2, 3, 4 picks. And then I can already hear the baby going, the dog going. I'm just down here like my headphones, like I can't hear it. I can't hear it. More defense at 18.
Okay.
Okay. That makes sense though from the Lions. That makes sense.
Who'd they pick?
They went defense
Okay.
from Ben. Ben knows.
Oh yeah, Ben's so wired in. Yeah, I'm excited about the Gonzalez pick. I mean, I wanted them to get him at 14. I didn't think that he was going to be there at 14.
That was best available.
Yeah,
That was best
it
available.
was a fantastic pick. They needed a cornerback so bad.
Yeah, Bucks are definitely going Levis, and then you know who's going to be pissed is going to be Drew TB Bucks. He has a ridiculous amount of the both Tampa Bay QBs. If you had a Levis in there, he's a Tampa Bay fan, so
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't. I mean, I think they're going to take Levis. Don't you?
I think you have to. You have Mayfield and Trask.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's been saying Trask season for the last 2 months.
Well, maybe this is Trask's year. I can't believe JSN is still available. I really can't. And 2 running backs have gone before JSN. I mean, Bijan, I can believe it, but
I think that's smart too. Levis, Kincaid, Nolan Smith, JSN, Michael Mayer's the top 5. Interesting that they have Kincaid ahead. I saw that in a few mocks as well. It just sort of depends what you need, though. Kincaid's going to be that more offensive-minded guy, where the Mayer's going to be 3 down out there blocking and still producing.
without a doubt, he's like basically another lineman.
True, which teams need.
Oh, without a doubt. You get him out there in jumbo packages. You can do a lot with him. Yeah, so this is a very good tight end class. That's another one where I wouldn't be surprised to see the Patriots take a tight end because the contract situations with Gesicki and Henry. They're both on 1-year deals.
Henry's getting old.
So the Patriots often take a guy the year before they need him, especially in like the middle rounds.
Like Sam Laporta, their guy.
Yeah,
classic.
Exactly.
He's a classic Patriot.
That would be a great pick, though. I could see that. Or Luke Schumacher.
Jack Campbell.
Or Shoemaker, my bad.
Jack Campbell over to the Lions.
Okay.
Interesting. Very interesting. That seems like a little bit of a reach, but
man, it's fascinating. Can't believe the Seahawks, man. What a trade the Russell Wilson trade ended up being. Like,
genius.
It is unbelievable.
Genius. They knew. That's the thing.
They knew. It's just, I mean, they had a great season last year, and now they're like picking like half of the first round.
Yeah.
That's unbelievable. I can't say I'm a Pete Carroll fan, but that was a hell of a move.
I think you're only going to see two or three receivers in the first round. The problem is if you push these receivers to the bottom here at like 30, 31, and you let KC, let the Bills, let these teams pick up these wide receivers.
Gross. Good thing you got Gonzalez.
Well, not even from a, I guess, but like from a football standpoint and fantasy standpoint, like You talk about people like sniping, and you
Yeah.
have to wonder. These teams know what the other teams like. They talk. They know who they want and who they like.
Mm-hmm. Without a doubt.
It's just interesting. Like the Bills at 27 could be picking from one of the top 3 receivers in this class. But I expect a couple of receivers to come off the board. Like
Vikings for sure.
Yep. Vikings, Chargers,
Yeah, I could see that.
potential Seahawks, New York Giants.
Allen's getting up there.
Seeing a lot of hype with Flowers at the Giants.
What about JSN to the Chargers?
That would be nutty. He would be the perfect Keenan Allen replacement too.
That's what I'm thinking. Like
Keenan Allen getting older.
Keenan Allen replacement. Perfect.
He's on a 1 year now, right? I believe he's on a 1 year deal.
I believe so. I mean, and his legs are on a 1 year deal.
His hammy's hanging on by a freaking thread of grass.
I mean, he's had a great career, but you start to wear down. And
I see the Bucks pick.
So much action, taking a lot of hits.
No way.
What happened? Are you on the Twitter machine?
No, it's in. This is a nice addition. I love the crowd. The crowd hears his name and they don't know who he is. Like at least be educated on the top 50 guys. Like this is someone that was projected for the first round. Shoring up the defense, which they need. Like,
who is it? I don't have it over here yet.
Kalijah Cansey.
Oh, okay. Yeah, streaming the basketball game is slowing down everything else.
Worth it.
Worth it. Freaking ice tray over here, dude.
They show the Aaron Darnold comp, which I mean his arm span's like more than 2 inches shorter, so it's a big deal.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you can really comp that, but
no, that's a tough one to comp anyway.
Reddit users in shambles. Especially because it wasn't Will Levis. I love it. Dude, Drew's happy right now. He's a happy boy. He's happy. It's getting scary though. Because Cincy, I mean, Dallas might end up getting like Michael Mayer or Kincaid.
Yeah.
Which what a great replacement for
a lot of talent sitting there. A lot. And like you said, now we're starting to get down to these elite quarterbacks, where if you get them a weapon.
Mm-hmm. Dude, I'm just seeing like my Zay Flowers potential stock just flying up the board with these teams.
Oh, without a doubt. What if he goes to the Giants?
Yeah, I don't love the Giants, but he would
take over.
I think he would still eat there, especially they have a bunch of wide receiver like fives.
That's it. Like he would take over. I think he would take over pretty quickly. Thing is, he's like a bit of a safety blanket too.
Vapor says, so does Gibbs at 12 matter to his BBM4 ADP, or does the landing spot move him down if Swift doesn't get moved? Swift has to get moved. With Montgomery, it would just be a waste of a waste of space.
And money on the cap.
So with Montgomery, maybe Gibbs moves up. Maybe Gibbs moves up a round or two, but nothing earlier than that. Like, let's think about where Swift went like last year, where he busted. I think that's where Gibbs can be. And at 42, Chargers tight end next for sure. Wasn't that the plan? Yeah, you can still ride out with Gerald Everett this year and upgrade at wide receiver. It just depends on who they like better and who they think is going to help them more this year.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see. We'll see. I still expect that they bring back Eckler, but who would you rather have, like a Michael Mayer on your team for years to come,
Yeah.
or like if JSN's there, you have the Keenan Allen replacement.
100%. To me, that's a slam dunk pick. I'd be surprised if they don't take him if he's still sitting there.
Drew, I was saying, like, your stock of Trask, that was dangerous. That was dangerous. Now they could trade back in. They could trade back in. You know, you just gotta keep that in the back of your head. Just kidding. I gotta make you sweat somehow, though.
It's good stuff. I thought they were going to take him.
Ben likes the discount on Monty. Hopefully the market's low on him and the Swift trade happens after BBM4. Yeah, it's kind of tough. You would think they must have been actively trying to deal Swift, but when a team knows that you don't like a guy, they don't really give you what you want. Lions took Campbell.
Fantasy dysfunctional. Dying on that Levis Hill.
Yeah, you are. You're out there burning right now. you keep climbing the sun.
You know what, though? I respect the man who stands on his principles there. He believed. That's good stuff.
Yeah.
You're not always going to be right.
Dude. Oh, my God. Levis can still end up in a good spot. Like, any moment, like, a team can trade up. Titans can trade up, trade in, and swoop them. But, like, Titans is a pretty good landing spot right now.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Tampa Bay still would be a good landing spot. Those are probably the top two where he can start. Like Seattle, I still don't think QB's good. If they did a 2-year contract with Geno, they could look for a QB here, but depends how much dead money in the Geno deal there is too.
Yeah, that's a good question.
Biggest surprise as far as the Gibbs pick, yeah, at 12, that was surprising. I didn't see
Paris Johnson went pretty high. He went a lot. I feel like that was a bit of a surprise. The trade up for Paris Johnson.
Yep. Yeah. Signing Montgomery, yeah, and having Swift, and then picking Gibbs. It's strange, right? It's strange. Like, you couldn't have got by another year with Swift.
Mm-hmm.
It's interesting.
Like I said, I just don't think they liked them very much. I mean, they were putting anyone they could in front of them.
Dude, Seattle must have been hearing trade offers. 26 seconds left on the clock.
There's so much talent on the board right now. You know what I mean? Like, Nolan Smith is still sitting there. Dalton Kincaid. You know, it's a lot of talent right now.
All the wide receivers.
Yeah. Joey Porter Jr. is still there.
Like, I don't see Hendon Hooker going in this round, which kind of rightfully so.
Jordan Addison, obviously. I mean, this is a loaded talent right here for the back end of the first round. Yeah, I'd be surprised if JSN gets past the Chargers here. I really would. It just makes too much sense.
It does. You can much safely get rid of Keenan Allen.
Yeah, well, you address the issue a year before it's a big issue. You know?
you're going to have Herbert's contract eventually
so
coming up.
JSN's going to Seattle.
You'll still have the rookie wide receiver, star rookie wide receiver on a rookie deal. It makes sense. I like it a lot. Those Joshua Palmer shares are donezo.
Done.
Which, I mean,
so wait,
if there's injuries, which you're expecting at least a 3-game
is
miss
Hart
for
right
Mike
here?
Williams.
Did JSN go to Seattle, Pat?
One sec. Joshua Palmer 6% in the big board.
Checking out those Palmer shares.
Yeah, you have to ahead of time. You have to. Don't want the shock factor.
Yeah.
Cool. I'm cool with it. Kind of figured that they would address either wide receiver or tight end, and those would both be bad for Palmer. So yeah, it was vape. And QBs was 4.5. Don't like Jason to Seattle. Hope Gino plays decent.
Yeah, did that happen? So I'm all frozen up over here.
No, it's Roger's calling it in.
Okay.
Oh shit, I got it. You want it?
Is it JSN?
Jackson Smith Najigba.
Yeah. See, I was right. I was just 15 picks late. Early.
Called that.
Nailed it.
Seth, what's up, my man? Welcome to the live stream. Yeah, we'll take it.
We love
that's
where
value
we
hounding. That's value hounding right there. Hey, Johnny, you were right. He did end up a Seahawk.
Oh, nailed it. The fit, baby. The fit. Made too much sense to me.
Check your Geno shares.
That's right.
Damn. All right. Los Angeles Chargers on the clock. Now that JSN's gone, I'm fully expecting this to be a tight end, like NF42 said.
This is a fun one. We knew it was going to be interesting. We knew there were going to be fireworks, but this one has not disappointed.
No, not at all. Not at all. This has been great.
It really has. Lots happened. Lots of trades. We're like, do you think there'll be a trade in the top 10? There was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 trades in the top 10. That's fantastic.
It turns out Will Levis being able to throw from his knees doesn't help you get drafted on an NFL team. just remember that when you're posting clips. That's the best.
Oh, Jesus.
That's the best.
I have to say, this is a good start for the Patriots. Not, getting him at 17, man.
Yeah. It was a good move. It was definitely a good trade back. It worked out. And you get a free 4th round pick out of it.
So. Absolutely nailed it. You got a guy that was a top 10 pick, a guy that shouldn't even have been available to them at 14. And they get him at 17 and a 4th rounder.
Gino's going to have a crazy trio of wide receiver. Oh my God, I know.
I know. I think he's going to be huge.
Now, in my opinion, this sort of goes back to what we were saying. Like Metcalf is going a little too soon before the NFL draft. Like right at he's around pick like 28-ish. So a 3rd round pick, early 3rd. He's going too early, especially where Lockett was started in the 70s. So now you bring in JSN.
Stacked.
Yeah. This doesn't hurt Lockett, in my opinion.
No.
In my opinion, this hurts Metcalf.
I could see that.
If anything, this is going to... I don't necessarily think it'll help
There's a
Fuck
lot
it,
of
I don't
weapons
think it's
from
gonna
fantasy
hurt.
perspective. They got a lot of weapons, without a doubt. But I think it helps Gino for sure.
Oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah.
And in real life, it makes them a lot better. There's no question about that.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's fascinating. So let's say, do you think they're going wide receiver here or what?
I'm going to say it's a tight end. I'm going to say it's tight end.
Okay, I could see that. And then does Baltimore take Zay?
Baltimore take. No, I don't think they're going to touch on wide receiver.
They're going to
I
trade.
don't think they'll touch on it. I don't know if they'll trade it either.
No, I mean like trade for D Hop.
You could see that's where you could see some absolute sparks fly.
Yeah.
Is D Hop with Buffalo coming up, with Baltimore coming up? How bad do you want him, sort of thing?
Yeah. I mean, now's the time. The phones are cooking right now. They're steaming.
All right. All right, pick is in, and then after this one, I do have to scoot. Got dogs barking, got babies crying.
Yeah, fair enough. I got 4 minutes left in the Celtics game, and it's tied.
Come on,
believe me,
Ben, tell us who it is. Who is it? Just drop it.
Drop it, Ben. Drop it, Ben.
Oh, I can't take it.
Oh, people are freaking out. The pound is a rustling.
It's bad.
I'm guessing it's not Zay.
It's like Darnell Washington.
I'm going home, Ben says. Ben, we're here for you, bud.
So I take it it's not Zay Flowers.
I'm guessing it's not Zay Flowers.
Kind of called. It wasn't going to be Zay Flowers because his ex-wide receiver coach in college is now playing in Los Angeles. I was never going to be that. Yeah, just drop it.
Drop
I got
it.
babies crying in the back. Quentin Johnson.
Oh, I'd rather have Zay than QJ for sure.
Interesting.
Yeah, Penn's out. Well, Pound, this has been fun.
I don't hate it. All right, guys, I got to fly. Thank you for coming out. It was fun, Johnny. Appreciate you.
Of course.
Pounders.
Have
Have a good night, guys. Thanks for coming out. We'll see you soon. Bye now.